Hey guys, oh, can you not see me? Have I not got my video capture on for some reason? My video capture isn't on for some freaking reason. There we go, it's on now. Alright, hello everybody. I'll wait for people to start putting messages in the chat and then I'll explain what's going on. I just quickly need to, let me just check if this is all going through on the live stream. It is, okay, right. Hold on. Gonna wait for people to start putting messages in. Hello, Jacob. Right. I'm gonna quickly go and do something while no one else is in here. I'm gonna quickly go and monetize this stream. Hopefully it'll allow me to do so. I should be able to do it. There we go, on. Quickly. There we go, monetized. So I get my money and you guys get your content. Let me just double check that that's on. Perfect. Right, so let me just go back into here. Hello everybody. We only have Jacob in here at the moment, but today I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. Let me just go on to my what's it called, post thing. Live. Actually, no. I'm gonna get a link as well. Let me just refresh. We are live, aren't we? Surely. Because it's not coming up on my it's not coming up on my account for some reason. That's strange. I might have to make an account. I might have to make a post on my actual YouTube account because it's not working for like this. View your channel. Share. Copy. Now create post. Here we go. Live now. For 2K 2,000 subscriber special live stream. Get involved, please. Public, there we go. Create post. That should be that. There we go. Right, so we've got 2 viewers at the moment. Not sure. Put a message in the chat, obviously, if you have got anything to say. Hello, Saye. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that name right. Okay, lol. So I'm currently, as you can see on my computer screen, I have the tier maker or the tier list website up because I don't know what to do on this 2,000 subscriber live stream. So I've got everything. So I've got this set up, and we can go through tier lists, we can go through quizzes, we can go through whatever you guys want. This is kind of your guys' live stream. It's going to be a half Q&A because I don't think we're going to really get enough of the live stream going to get a Q&A. If anyone has any questions they want to ask me first off, they can do so. Any questions about F1, about YouTube, about anything that you want to know about that I can answer, I will happily do so. Just checking, yeah, all that sort of stuff. So we've got a tier list going, we've got all sorts going. for this 2,000 subscriber live stream. I'm just texting my mates telling them I'm live. Oh, it is now working on my phone. Brilliant. I only got 3 viewers at the moment, but that's fine. I haven't done much promotion for that. That's probably why. So yeah, if you guys want to put in something that a question that you want me to answer, or a tier list you want me to do, even, or anything that you want me to do on this stream so we can get going, that'll be massively helpful. So we haven't got anything. Right, well, what I'll do first off, I think, is I did a ranking a long time ago on the F1 tracks on the current calendar. But I haven't. I will need to remake that video at some point because it actually got me quite a few views, I think. But I will redo this by doing it in here. I'm going to have my chat up on my phone rather than on my laptop, so and I can not have to keep flip-flopping between the two. Let me just turn my volume all the way down. So yeah, remember, you can ask any, cool, why did you decide to make YouTube videos? Because I think the whole story behind me creating my YouTube channel was... the whole story behind it was literally I was in bed one night in my university accommodation and I was just like, I obviously have a lot of Formula One knowledge. That's hopefully not too braggadocious to say, but I have a lot of Formula One knowledge, and I find that a lot of the stories that I know of people don't really cover, like people like Josh Revel, even like not the nerdy, but the more in-depth ones like Aidan Millward, even they sometimes don't cover the kind of stories that I like, the ones from, because he covers stories from his childhood, the 90s, the 2000s, and I like stuff from even before then, and I just thought there was a bit of a void to be filled with niche sorts of content. You'll see that from, especially my early content, is stuff that no one, or a very small branch of people have heard of. And that's why I decided to get into YouTube, because I thought that I could fill a void that no one else was filling. That's why. Favourite Formula 1 season? Tough one, that is. Obviously, 2012 was my first season watching Formula 1. I started watching, I think my first race that I remember watching was the British Grand Prix. Sorry, the first race that I did watch, I think, was the British Grand Prix. The first race I remember watching was the Belgian Grand Prix. The first race where I actually remember something happening was the Brazilian Grand Prix. I remember being in the living room at my mum's old house and my dad's old house before they split up. I remember at the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix, I vividly remember my dad shouting at the TV when Hulkenberg crashed into Hamilton. "Hulkenberg, you idiot," is what he shouted at him. I vividly remember that. But yeah, there's a lot of good seasons. 2012, 1976, 1982. I've done that season to death on my channel, but 1982 is a good one. 1983. 1994, even though it obviously has a same amount of tragedy as 1982. 2008 was a good one. 2010 was a kind of lesser 2012. 2016 was decent. This season is very good. Although I don't want Norris to really win the title, because I think it'll be one of the least deserved titles, if not the least deserved title in F1 history, which is something you don't really get new records in modern F1, because usually someone's done something at least once before. But I genuinely believe that if Norris wins this title, he will be the least deserving title or champion, at least of my lifetime. It reminds me of Eddie Irvine if he was to win a 1999 title. What's your take on F1 trying to be eco-friendly at the expense of car performance? For example, using economic turbo V6s that don't require as much fuel instead of using the epic V10s. It's because the turbo hybrid engines came in an era where electric cars weren't really a thing. They brought in turbo hybrids to kind of further the advancements in electric cars. Like, I remember there's a Top Gear episode that came out in about 2013 where they drove a Nissan Leaf, and I think it was some sort of Renault, or it was either Renault or a Suzuki or something like that, or a Toyota, and it was awful. They made the references of, it takes 13 hours to charge it when it's only like 30 miles of range, and electric cars have gone past that. So I do realize, I think hybrids are part of the reason why F1 cars are so heavy nowadays, which contributes to why they're so bad nowadays for racing and for action and stuff like that. I do think, thing is, the FIA, obviously, the reason why they make these regulation changes nowadays, because obviously back in the 50s and 60s and through even to the 70s, the only reason they ever made any regulation changes were to do safety. So they or either safety or costs. So obviously they changed the Formula 2 regulations in 1952 and 53 so that teams wouldn't literally just be outspent by Ferrari. And even though Ferrari dominated, they just didn't want the costs to go out the window. In the early 1960s, they changed from 1.5 to 3 litre engines because they wanted F1 to be the fastest category in the world, because sports cars were starting to become faster than F1 cars. In the early 70s, they started banning the high, the aerofoil wings where people had like super high wings on their cars. They banned those because of safety. They banned ground effect because of safety. Nowadays, all the regulation changes, this is something Peter Brooks said all the time, regulation changes are done to push whatever agenda the FIA wants to push, whether it's turbo hybrids, whether it's better racing so they can give a facade that they actually care about the racing, when if they cared about the racing they just make the cars a ton smaller. But yeah, I mean, I don't particularly mind them wanting to be eco, because F1 is one of the pinnacles of motorsport. They have to be seen to be doing something. And the thing is, people say, "Oh, just go to biofuels," but WEC is doing. WEC is another another FIA series, and that's using eco fuels. So either they switch WEC to turbo hybrids, or and then bring those over to F1, or they just keep it as it is. Because although F1 could be better without the turbo hybrids, it's not exactly bad as it is. I like it as it is. It is interesting. So. Careful, the Lando fans might call you a hater. I don't give a shit about the Lando fans, because the Lando fans aren't intelligent enough, or at least the ones that you're talking about, the die-hard ones who are fucking 12-year-old fangirls on Twitter, aren't intelligent enough to find a channel like mine. They can only look at the mainstream ones. Not necessarily anything shade against those mainstream guys, it's just that they have a more diverse audience. Lando is Damon Hill 2.0. I agree. Like, I thought before this season he was same level to George Russell, potentially Alex Albon, because obviously they're all in different cars, or they were all in different types of cars. George was in the front, Lando was in the midfield, and Alex was at the back, so you couldn't really see where each of them were. But I thought they were all pretty level. Like, I'm pretty sure that if George or Alex got into a title fight, they would be a lot more concise and be a lot better with their driving than Lando has been this season. Genuinely, Lando has had the best car since Miami. Like, as much as I like to bash Lewis Hamilton, I think if you'd put him in the car, he'd be leading the title. He'd be leading the championship. Verstappen would be leading the championship in Lando's car. Leclerc would be leading the championship in Lando's car. Several other drivers would be leading in his position. Interesting thing it is. As flawed as Hamilton's 2021 season was, he at least destroyed Bottas and Perez and was willing to go at Max. Literally, sometimes he was also there until the end. Yeah, thing is, with Lando, obviously, you have to take into account the fact that his car has got better, Max's has got worse. But yeah, Lando just is underperforming. Even Vettel in 2018 had more points per race than Norris does this year, despite not having fastest lap or sprint race points. That's an interesting stat. I mean, obviously, Vettel did have the fastest car for the entire... Or the joint fastest car for the entire season. Or at least the second quickest car for the entire season. Lando didn't have that at the start, I suppose. But yeah, he should be doing way better. Congrats on the milestone, says Remy. Thank you. Congrats indeed. Yep, thank you. I'm not really one for compliments. That's just my autism. I don't know how to respond to compliments. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Do you see Fernando winning in the near future with an Adrian Newey Aston Martin? Tough one, because obviously he isn't going to be able to even work on the cars until the spring of 2025. So the entire 2025 car development is going to be Adrian Newey less. So it's going to be without him. So obviously they might bring a B-spec car like they did with Force India in 2015 in the summer or towards the end of the season. But obviously the first full season they're going to have with Adrian Newey power and Adrian Newey running them is 2026. Fernando Alonso is going to be 45 in 2026. Unless he decides he's still good enough, he'll be the oldest F1 driver in history since Graham Hill in 1975, and Graham Hill at the age of 45 and 46 was washed up. He was not after 1971. He was pretty much just a midfield driver at best because he'd broken his legs, because he was old, because he was just making his own team. I believe. See, I think Fernando can get a win, but I don't think he can win a championship. I think 2026 Lance Stroll will be better than 2026 Fernando Alonso just because of his age. I thought similar, but this season has genuinely knocked me. His Ricciardo teammate stint has given me a false image. Yeah, Fernando, that is, yeah. He can start in March. Newey can start in March. So yeah, you could see a B-spec car coming in around the summer break, maybe around wherever the first race is after the summer break. That's a good point. Alonso will retire at the end of 2025, I know. I don't think he will. I think if he knows that there's an Adrian Newey car coming and there's a chance that he can be in the fastest car, he will not retire. Even if he knows he's not at his peak, he will not retire and give up a chance to be in an Adrian Newey car. Both Alonso and Senna proved age is just a number. Yeah. I'll quickly go into the tier list, guys, because I do want to do something that isn't just chatting. Senna does love a number 15, to be fair. Yeah, he does. So we'll go straight into this. So for some reason they've got the tracks in some sort of weird order. Abu Dhabi is the first track on the calendar. I think I'd put that in D tier. See, Abu Dhabi for me, it's a mixed bag. For me, there's only ever been one good race at Abu Dhabi, and that was 2012. That's a very underrated race if you want to go and watch it back. 2021 wasn't a good race. The only reason that was ever considered a quote-unquote entertaining race was because it was the last race of the season. If it wasn't the last race of the season, it wouldn't have been good. Simple as that. That's why I put it in D tier. The new changes to the track make it a bit better. It's no longer as annoying to drive, and it is a bit more flowing, but you can't polish a turd. Yeah. Kota is the next track. I mean, obviously, it's got a lot of series going to it. IndyCar went there for 1 year. NASCAR has gone there since 2021. Some cunts on a motorcycle in the background, if you can hear them. The USA, I put it in B tier. It's hosted a fair few good races since its debut in 2012. And it's just decent. It's just you see a decent race at Austin every single year. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Newey can work on upgrades, not on the car itself from scratch. Yep. Fernando Alonso can look back at a Hall of Fame career, 2 titles, 32 wins, good health, winning 400 races etc. That's fair enough. The Aston will also be powered by Honda, and the Saudis are investing a lot into newer fuels that will be used in the newer F1 cars. Cool. 16 Abu Dhabi was decent too, to be fair. The thing is, I don't count any races that were only good because they were the title decider. Like 2010 was only really entertaining because it was a title decider. 2016 was only really good. Was 2014, 2015, like all those different races were only good because there was a title decider, and I don't think that those should count. Which track that is not on the calendar would you like to see on the calendar? Good question. Sepang is the obvious one. People talking about Hockenheim. No, not really. Neither the Nürburgring. I think that Hockenheim 2019 really started, really glazed the Hockenheim, in my opinion. I don't think Hockenheim, especially in this modern iteration, is really that good a track. 2018 was decent, I guess, but again, wet weather. But most of the dry races at Hockenheim were just a bit naff. So I'd go for Sepang. Abu Dhabi watching, I'd say E, driving in the F1 game. D. Yeah, I drive it in the F1 game when I do play the F1 game because I've mostly moved into NASCAR league racing. But I still think it's a D. B tier for Kota. Portimao or Istanbul. Portimao can die in a fucking hole. The only reason the 2020 race was entertaining was because it was raining towards the start, and 2021 was boring. And then Istanbul is just it's no longer good for the cars. It was built for the mid 2000s to late 2000s cars, the ones that were smaller with the rabbit ears and the whole appendages. And it's outgrown them. The cars have outgrown the track. So turn 8 is easily flat out. It's just a boring track in terms of that, and it's not really that good for racing because of that. The only reason that 2020 was good was because of the resurfacing, and 2021 wasn't really that entertaining either. What country that has never been in F1 needs presence on the F1 calendar? That's a difficult question to answer. There's never had a presence in F1. Are you talking about in terms of ever having a track or ever having a driver? Because there's obviously if a track has if it had no drivers and no tracks, there's probably a reason for that. But if you're talking about like tracks that have had, for example, a driver but haven't had, like Poland, for example, you could argue that you might need a Polish. You could have argued that there could have been a Polish Grand Prix while Robert Kubica was on the grid. Let's have a look. Croatia is making a track that could be used for F1. That would be cool. A Polish GP might also be a fun solution. Croatia would be better because Poland doesn't really have the kind of allure because Croatia has a lot of beautiful places, whereas Poland looks like it's the north of England pretty much in every single photo there's ever been of it. So Croatia could be a good opportunity. All I know is that I don't want Sochi for a lot of reasons. Fair enough. Sochi is a nice track to drive. It's actually a really nice track to drive because the corners are actually decently flowing, but it didn't produce good racing, really. Right, next track, Australia. Obviously, this is the new layout of Australia. I'd put it in A tier. It's produced good racing, 4 DRS zones. You can't go wrong with a billion DRS zones. It's produced 3 decent races since it came on the calendar, or since this new layout came on the calendar, and it has a whole wealth of history before then. Baku, I'd put in also A tier, but ahead of Australia because it has just produced more entertainment. I'm going to ask it because you brought up NASCAR a few times. Better driver, Max Verstappen or Kyle Larson? Right, I'm going to just go back onto it because I'm going to basically so I can see my face and stuff here. Right, see, people took because Kyle Larson said he was a better driver than Max Verstappen, and people took it out of context. Kyle Larson did not say he was a better driver than Max Verstappen overall. He said that he would beat Max Verstappen in anything that wasn't a Formula car. He said that anything that wasn't an open wheel Formula car, he would beat Max Verstappen in. And he's right, I'm sorry. But the way that Formula 1 cars handle and the way that NASCARs handle are a completely different kettle of fish. Every single Formula 1 driver that's gone to NASCAR, whether it was like Jenson Button or Kimi Räikkönen right at the end of their careers just for a little bit of fun. Like even, as I said, Jenson Button, Kimi Räikkönen, both very adaptable, both very capable drivers. Neither of them even got a top 15 finish in NASCAR. Like, and supposedly NASCARs are just idiots who can only drive in circles. If Jensen and Kimi can't get top 15s, that means they're not idiots who can only drive around in circles. NASCARs and F1 cars drive completely differently. Max is known for needing an oversteery car. And if he got into a NASCAR, he wouldn't be able to handle it because they are inherently understeery. Like you can tune them and you can make the setups so that they handle with oversteer, but by definition and by physics, they are understeery compared to Formula 1 cars because they just don't have any grip. Kyle Larson would beat Max Verstappen in anything that wasn't a Formula car, with the exception of maybe GT3 or GT racing. Let's have a look. Nedzo, I'm your biggest fan, says Dark Pumps. I league race with you, mate. And, yeah. So, yeah, Kyle Larson is the better... is he a better overall driver? You can't really give that, because that'd be like saying, would he be better in F1 than Max Verstappen would be in NASCAR? And I don't think he would be, because... the problem is with NASCAR drivers coming into F1 is you'd have to build up your fitness, because most NASCAR drivers wouldn't be able to drive an F1 car succinctly and without dying in terms of fitness. But yeah, I think what Kyle Larson said was right. In any Formula car, pretty much anything that wasn't a Formula car or a GT car, he'd thrash Max. Any oval, he'd thrash Max. NASCAR, he'd thrash Max. Even stuff like touring cars. And other categories of racing, I think he'd beat him. Has Baku ever had a bad race? 2016. 2016, I can't remember anything about the Baku race. Fernando Alonso, says Remy. Not sure what the context is for that. Kimi was fighting for the win in his first race and would have certainly been top 10 had he not been taken out. I don't remember. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of NASCAR when Kimi did his start. I saw he was fighting in the top 10, but whether he was fighting for the win or not is another kettle of fish. Obviously, some drivers from other series have come in and been really good in NASCAR. Specifically, I've just realised my microphone has fallen over. Several drivers. Shane Van Gisbergen has gone from V8 supercars in Australia to NASCAR and done very well. Michael McDowell has moved over from the open wheel racing scene. AJ Allmendinger used to be an IndyCar driver. He moved over to NASCAR and he's very good on the road courses, or used to be until he became washed a few years ago. There's a couple of really good drivers who've come from other backgrounds, usually other stock car racing backgrounds, or other similar racing series from across the world. Also, unlike the early days, drivers don't come through racing other categories. Yeah, they are more specialised. If you're a Formula 1 driver, you've come through Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 4. If you're a NASCAR driver, you've come through Truck Series, Xfinity Series, ARCA. There's not much crossover. You don't see F1 drivers doing Le Mans anymore. The last time I remember an F1 driver doing Le Mans was Hulkenberg in 2015, and before that it would have been the 1990s. It's absolutely nuts how much. F1 goes more to engineering and the nitty-gritty rather than pure racing. That's true. I think the difference between F1 and NASCAR completely epitomises the difference between European and American sports. American sports, everyone is on a level playing field, and it's built for the entertainment. It's built for viewer, for the audience. F1, regardless of what they try to do in recent years, F1 has been and always will be geared towards engineering. The reason why racing in Europe was ever made was to see who had the best endurance. It was to see who was the best team, not who was the best driver. And now they've made it into some sort of facade where the drivers matter more than the teams, and they're talking about personalities, and that's what Liberty Media's done, and absolutely all props to them. But F1 will always be about the teams, and they will not care about making it a spec series. Baku wasn't great in 16, 19 or 22. 19 you had, wasn't that the year that Bottas had his tyre blowout right at the end? That could have saved that race. 2022, you have a point there. I can't remember anything from the 2022 race. The context for Fernando Alonso was to the question of who is better, Kyle or Max, just taking the piss. Oh, okay. Yeah, Montoya is also proven. The thing is, Montoya was initially an IndyCar driver, then went to F1, then went to NASCAR. Obviously, it's easier to go from IndyCar to NASCAR than it is to go from F1 to NASCAR, because obviously you're already used to the American climate and the American way of living, the American culture. And obviously, Indy cars are slower than F1 cars. They have no power steering, that kind of stuff. It'll be easier to go from IndyCar to NASCAR than F1 to NASCAR. And also, pretty much every single F1 driver in recent years who's gone to NASCAR has been at the end of their career. You could argue that would a 30-year-old Jenson Button have done better than a 40-year-old Jenson Button? Yes, you could say he could have done better. Ask any team in F1 what's more important to them, constructors or drivers, they'll go constructors. Absolutely, because that's what gets them the money. At the end of the day, Red Bull get money from finishing first in the Constructors' Championship. I don't think they get any for winning the Drivers' Championship. Ferrari imploded and Checo won 2022. Pretty sure. Oh yeah, that was when the safety car came out. Right when Checo was in his pit window and Max couldn't keep up. Yeah, I'll go back to the track rankings. Bahrain is next. I'd put it on a similar thing to Kota. Obviously, I don't like it being the first race of the season. It's not really worthy of that, I don't think. It's not horrendous by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not really god tier. The only real good races I've seen there, 2014, 2021, because of the battle between Max and Lewis. You never really get many good classics first races of the season, apart from 2002 Australia and a couple of others. But yeah, Spa has to go in S tier. No explanation needed. Interlagos goes in S tier, but behind Spa. Canada A tier. I'd put it behind Australia and Azerbaijan. Actually, no, I'd put it... No, actually, yeah, I would keep it. Because in the previous couple of years, it's been a bit meh. I think that it's not really geared towards modern F1 racing. The entire... From turn 1 until about turn... The hairpin, you can't make any overtakes. That's a problem. China is a B tier track, in my opinion. I'd put it ahead of Kota, but not ahead of Bahrain. It's a good track. Obviously has come back this year and produced a decent race, produced a decent qualifying as well. It's obviously a lot more future-proof. It's got long straights, it's got tight corners, it's got overtaking spots. Let's see. They technically lose money from World Drivers' Championship. You pay a fee for every point score. Oh, that's a drivers. That's a drivers pay a fee on their super license. That's not the teams. Max won 2022 because of a double Ferrari DNF. Oh, yeah, that's Baku, yeah. I think Canada above Australia, but anyway. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I don't always agree with people. Silverstone, I'd put it ahead of Interlagos, behind Spa. Just because... Actually, no, because Silverstone has had much better racing recently, but I don't think it has the same aura that Spa has. So I'll keep it behind. Imola, C tier. It's one of the only old school circuits I don't like. The chicanes they put in ruined it. I'm sorry, but especially now, I understand putting in the chicanes after 1994, but ever since we came back in 2020, we haven't needed those chicanes. The reason why Senna died was because his suspension broke, something that would never happen in modern Formula 1, and they would never put a concrete barrier there, just put some tyre barriers there. And Roland Ratzenberger's crash, again, they wouldn't put a concrete barrier on the exit of a really fast corner. I think they should just get rid of the first two chicanes, and that would produce great racing. Monza, again, it's like Spa, where it hasn't had much good recent racing, but it still has a lot of aura. I'd put it behind Spa, ahead of Silverstone. What future do you see for Monaco? Personally, I love it because you see the skill of the drivers where they are more than any other track. I agree. I made a video on this a few months back. Actually, quite a few months back now. Monaco, for me, is... it's a difficult one because there has to be some changes made to the cars, not to the track. Because it was good in the 50s, it was good in the 60s, it was even good through... They had good races at Monaco through to the 2010s, and even as recent as 2019. Admittedly, yes, you can't really overtake there, but you can in the wet. You can when there's certain circumstances. They just need to make the cars smaller. The cars have gotten about twice as long as they were about 40 years ago, so there's no room for them. There's no room for them. They need to, like, you see the Monaco Historic every year, and you look at the 1960s cars going around the swimming pool section, and you go, that's literally about half of the size of a modern F1 cars. No wonder they could overtake back then, and they can't anymore. Monaco needs to stay on the calendar, absolutely. People say, oh, it's the 78 lap Bourne-fest every single year. There are other tracks which have boring races every single year. Abu Dhabi. Yet no one seems to bat an eyelid. There's no one that seems to bat an eyelid, but because it's Monaco, people like to hate because it embodies history, and God forbid anyone know any history in F1 before 2018. Hey man, love your videos. Thank you, Joshua. Teams usually pay the points fee for the drivers. Oh, do they? I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know. Lance Stroll could make any corner deadly. See, that's the thing. I have an opinion on Lance Stroll that most people might not like. He, for me, is a good driver who's just inconsistent. I believe that if he was to get in a championship car, like for example 2020, he got in a decent car, and before he got COVID, he was 4th in the standings. He was ahead of Perez in the standings. And I'm actually getting this up. I did an Excel spreadsheet. I have an Excel spreadsheet, which is where the basis of some of my videos come from. Where I basically document drivers' entire careers through the medium of statistics. I've got quite a few drivers. And Lance Stroll is one of them. I'm not sure what you guys can exactly see here. What can you guys... Oh, it's quite far zoomed in. Let me just zoom this out for you guys if I can. That should work if I just... That should work. There we go. So you guys can see that. So I've got Lance Stroll's career here. And if you look at 2020, when he had Perez and Hülkenberg as his teammates, overall, he was only 0.014 seconds behind Perez or Hülkenberg in qualifying in 2020. And in races where there wasn't a caveat, so that's a wrong strategy. So I put caveats as usually a wrong strategy, a crash that wasn't their fault. So if they cause like a crash that is their fault, it doesn't count. So they have to deal with that. But in 2020, Lance Stroll finished ahead of Sergio Perez in all the races where there was no caveats. So obviously I counted... I'm not sure why I counted these. Like Abu Dhabi, I don't remember why that was a caveat. Nor Sakhir, really. Obviously Turkey, he got put on the wrong tyres when he didn't want to be put on those tyres. Imola, I think he got wing damage. And so he had to pit early on. But yeah, overall in 2020... So Stroll's better than Perez, so ideally he should have got the Red Bull seat. Let me have a look. Monaco, right. Oh my god, there's loads of messages. Yeah, Imola is a weird one. I love and hate it at the same time, really. Yeah, I love the history. I love all of the stuff behind it, but it's just too modernised. It's one of the modernised circuits where they've just ruined it. Monaco lasted long enough, and the 24 and the 26 cars will be smaller. That's very true. Hopefully we'll see better racing there. It has proven its future, in my opinion. Yeah. That's also 90% the Pirelli tyres not degrading. That's a good point, actually. If they made special tyres for Monaco where you had to do like a 2-stop or a 3-stop, that could make racing more entertaining at Monaco. If you make the tyre drop off more, it will make it so that drivers who are 5 seconds a lap slower, they'll be less likely to just stay in front of cars. They need to get rid of a Nouvelle chicane or just get rid of a track. That's the only way you can have overtaking at that track. I agree. I think in my Monaco video I think the changes I said make to the circuit, I said you could there's obviously a roundabout at Poitiers that many YouTubers have suggested before me, where you can where you can make the straight longer going down to the Nouvelle. I did say take out the Nouvelle. But the problem is, this is something that people point out to me. Obviously, you'd make a wide road going into there, but you'd have to make a kind of quick little... You know how on Abu Dhabi, how the straight kind of narrows towards the end because it all shifts to the left because there's a car park? You'd have to do that. You'd have to do that as well because there are like monuments and stuff where the Monaco track is. Where the Monaco, that's part of the reason why the chicane's there, I think. Because if you remember back in the 1960s, they had a little quick flick chicane. That's probably what you'd have to do. Obviously, you might have to make it not maybe necessarily a quick flick, but just smooth it out. But you could do that. And I also suggested getting rid of a swimming pool chicane, because you can just cut through and have similar to what they had back in the 50s with the Gasworks hairpin. Let me have a look. What's it? It was. I think it was last year. Ocon did 50 laps on the hard. What was that? Monaco. George Russell did 75 laps on the medium tyres. I think this year at Monaco. It's just because there's no high-speed corners. Really, it's just so easy to save the tyres. Quali at Monaco is very, very entertaining too. 2023 qualifying was entertaining as fuck. Yeah, it was. Qualifying at Monaco is always the most entertaining of the year. That's why. The thing about Lance is that he is terribly unlikable and not. I don't think he's unlikable. I just think that people who want to see him as a pay driver with a billionaire dad who doesn't actually deserve anything, see him as that and don't actually look at what he does. I've heard, like, for example, I know people who've met him, like people who've met him as fans, not as journalists, as fans, and they say he's a really nice guy. They say he's a really nice guy and really affectionate. He has his moments, pushing his engineer in Singapore, whenever it was last year. That wasn't good. And he does sometimes come off as bratty, but every F1 driver comes off as bratty. Look at Lewis Hamilton in his early career. Verstappen has arrogance. Like, all drivers have arrogant moments. Thank you for your insight into the many F1 questions I've asked. A creator gear question now. It is a small sample size enough, however, though. Which YouTuber do you like to watch and get inspiration from? Well, Peter Brook is definitely one of them. He was a YouTuber. He was part of the reason why I started a YouTube channel, I think, and he's also helped me a lot. He was one who got me onto the DRS Train podcast. He's the one who shouted me out in one of his live streams. He shouted me out on his it was some sort of live stream. I can't remember what it was. It was one of his ranking live streams though. So that really helped me out. I remember getting like 20 or 30 subscribers just because of that shout out. He was very good in my early thing, and obviously I go on the DRS Stream podcast very regularly now when regular guests can't turn up, so I've kind of become a regular guest in that aspect. Aidan Millward, I watch his content a lot because it's historical content geared towards the sort of stuff I like. Who else have we got? I watch a lot of NASCAR content. The Iceberg is very good at NASCAR content. Slap Shoes, if you want to get into NASCAR, their videos are very good. I will any single person who isn't into NASCAR to go and watch it. The last race at Watkins Glen was banging. You can watch the extended highlights of that. The Coke 400 was banging at Daytona. That was fantastic. So many good races this season. Monaco 24 was boring as the Ferraris were driving slower on purpose. That's the problem with Monaco. They just need to, if they could, widen it in places. Obviously, they don't have much room to wiggle with that sort of stuff, but ideally they should widen it, or do what some other people have suggested, which is there's obviously the sea. You can reclaim land there. Obviously, people in the harbour and the boats would be pissed. But you can reclaim some land around where maybe Rascasse is, and just kind of extend a bit of track there and see what you can do there. Maybe find where the pier is and just do a bit up there. I don't know. Agree on Stroll, to be fair, and I still believe he'll be looked on slightly more favourably when he retires. Yeah, I think it depends, because obviously the Drive to Survive fans will go, oh, he's just a pay driver, not realising that every single year of F1 drivers are paid drivers. But yeah, I agree that he will be. I still believe at barber shops and restaurants, there'll be, when people look worse drivers, they'll go, someone remembers Lance Stroll, he was alright. Yeah. Peter was on Cameron's stream for FP1. What does that mean? Cameron? Who's Cameron? And what's FP1? I'm not sure if you're talking about FP1. And Cade says hello. Cade Rater is another guy I league race with. How about when I beat you at the Indy 500, Cade? And when I beat you at Homestead, Miami? How about that? Swivel on those ones. Yeah. I had to adapt to NASCAR league racing. But yeah, I've got, in my spreadsheet, by the way, I've got a ton of, I'm not sure if you can see at the bottom, I've got so many drivers. I've got the master sheet, which is where I have the record. I last updated this in 2022. Oh, it's not loading. Here we go. I last updated this in 2022, but I have every single driver that has a podium, a pole position, or a fastest lap in F1 is in this list. Obviously, I still have some to go, and I haven't got anywhere near doing all of them. But I can, for example, sort by which drivers have the best pole record in F1 by percentage, and it is Fangio, 56% pole record. If I was to say who has the best top 10 record, it is Lewis Hamilton. No, it's not actually. It's Dorino Serafini, because he had a 100% podium record. But I can do that with all my stats sheets. They're good. I have Fangio's quali and race record. I only went up to 1951. Senna's quali plus race record. Surprise! In his entire career, I've only done up to 1990 so far. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in the first 7 years of his career he got out qualified. I did F1 esports, but I didn't really focus on that. Marussia Caterham and HRT, that was just basic. F1 Manager, I haven't really done. Track Info is quite fun because it's like average speeds of different tracks at certain points. There's a little graph there. Obviously, Monza's the fastest. Spa 1970 is second quickest. We've got one-time winners. I was initially planning on doing a video detailing every single one-time winner in F1 history and what they did in that race, but I never really got round to it. Street circuits is another good one. When I did my F1's problem with street circuits video, I talked about how in the 1950s they had the most street circuits on the calendar. Then towards the 70s it kind of dried out, and it just kind of stayed at around 15-20% of the calendar being street circuits, and it dropped down to 11%. In COVID, they didn't have an actual permanent street circuit on the calendar in 2020. Because Monaco wasn't on there, Singapore wasn't on there. I think the only even semi-street circuit on there was I can't remember what it was, but it was one circuit. But now, look, you can see that we're getting up to the same numbers we had at the start of the 1970s with street circuits. My whole Lewis Hamilton video about him not being the GOAT came from this spreadsheet. Damon Hill, my video on him came from this spreadsheet. Michael Schumacher, I haven't done a video on him yet, but I might do. My video on Daniel Ricciardo, what Jacques Villeneuve said about him. Jim Clark, I didn't manage to really do this because it's harder with the 60s. You can't really figure out when drivers have problems. Jimmy Johnson, I did a NASCAR one and gave up after a long time because it was complicated. Andre de Cesaris, I've got halfway through his, so that might be a spoiler for a future video. Verstappen, I was just wanting to see how good his record was, and it's very good, unsurprisingly. Pastor Maldonado, did a video on him. Stoffel Van Dorn, Felipe Nasser, Verline, Mazepin. You can see I've done a video on all of them. That might be a spoiler for a future video. Marcus Ericsson, Lance Stroll, Esteban Tuedo, Nolan Siegel, who's an IndyCar driver, who obviously I won't be doing a video on, but let's have a look and see what people have been saying in the chat. There was some German pay driver in the 90s called Michael Schumacher. I was like, yeah. Content creator, I think. Yeah. Do you have a public link for the spreadsheet? I don't have a public link for the spreadsheet because actually I could make one, but I'd have to make it so people can't edit it because I'm very touchy when it comes to people touching people using my stuff. I have a feeling that someone, not one of you guys, but I have a feeling that someone would go on there and just vandalise it, which I don't want. I've beat you too many times to count on who's leading GWR points even after missing a race. Shush. Free practice 1, Peter Windsor, Cameron CC is a YouTuber. Oh, okay. I know of Peter Windsor. I don't know who Cameron CC is, but I know who Peter Windsor is. He was a guy who he nearly started up a US F1 team. Bit of a shame Kubica was only a one-time winner. Yeah. Obviously, if he'd gone to Ferrari in 2012, he could have even challenged for a championship. But it is a shame he didn't really get much of a chance to succeed in F1 before he had his accident. We'll go back to that tier list. Please tell me it loads. It does load. Good. Suzuka goes in S tier, ahead of Brazil, I'd say, but behind Great Britain. It's a very good track to drive, but it doesn't really produce good racing. That's a problem nowadays because it's an old school circuit. Vegas I'd actually put in B tier, ahead of China, behind Bahrain. In its one race, it produced a really good race. That's all I can say. Mexico is shit. I'm sorry, it just is. It's better than Abu Dhabi, but it's not as good as Imola. Just get rid of it. The Peraltado's not there anymore. It doesn't like I don't remember a singular good race happening there. It's just naff. It's just really crap. It's just a ruined, tilkified, old school circuit. Severe could have achieved so much more if he had not been wiped out at Watkins Glen. Yeah, he could have. Obviously, Tyrrell kind of went on the downturn after Stewart left. But he could have moved to somewhere like Lotus or Ferrari and been equally as good. Well, yeah, I'd want to have a downloadable spreadsheet whose source is uneditable besides you. Okay, I can do that. I can post a link somewhere. I might even post it in the chat. I can't post it. I can go on my actual YouTube account and post. Let me just create a link. Share. Share. Let me have a look. Can view. There we go. Copy link. Let me just check. Can view. Copy link. I'll put that in my. I'll put it in the YouTube chat now. Let me just mute myself so I mute myself on my screen is what I was saying. Oh, I've got an advert on my own fucking stream. Ha, funny. There we go. I've just posted that for you guys. It's a OneDrive link for some fucking reason, but it works. Right, let's close that. Mexico would be better if the oval was used, but alas, it was tilkified and the stadium is shite. Yeah, problem is you can't really put the Peraltada back because there's not enough runoff areas in the circuit. That's the problem with Mexico. But you could definitely do what Formula E do, which is go through the stadium and then go back out of the stadium and go around the Peraltada, which is what they do, and I think they do it really well. Miami is average. I'll put it behind Mexico, ahead of Abu Dhabi. Monaco, S tier, but behind all these tracks. Zandvoort, I'd put it around there. B tier track, behind Vegas, ahead of China. Qatar, good for hot lapping. The 2021 race was decent and it produced decent overtaking. Everyone thought it was going to be a snooze fest, but there was actually good overtaking because they didn't realise that high downforce cars and a massively long DRS straight produces good overtaking because everyone's rear wing angles are really high, so it means the DRS is super effective. Qatar, I'll probably put it in. It's not really done much enough to warrant anything more than a C tier. This is Saudi Arabia. Shit. No, I don't want to put Saudi Arabia in there just yet. I'll probably put it C tier ahead of Emilia Romagna. If it had let me fucking switch the two round. Singapore, we're going to there in this weekend, aren't we? I'd probably put it B tier, bottom of A tier. Let's see what everyone's saying in the chat first. Miami, I dislike with a passion, personally speaking. I do as well, especially in the F1 games. There's certain corners that are just horrendous to drive. However, it has produced decent racing, I guess. Spain, with its newer layout, is good, but it's only good. I'd probably put it just ahead of Kota. Saudi Arabia is not a good track. I don't care what people say. It's produced entertaining racing. It's got the chaos of Baku, but it's not actually good chaos. It's just, the track is not designed for F1 properly, so it produces chaos. I'd probably put it bottom of B tier. Austria is a great track. I'd probably put it high A tier. And Hungary, B tier around this sort of area. So what do you guys think of that tier list? What would you change? What would you add? What would you which tracks would you move around? That's what I think. I'll wait for you guys to put in some thoughts of what you think in the chat, of what you think this is good on this tier list and what isn't. Yeah, what do you guys think of this? So Spa for me is my favourite circuit. Well, in terms of both racing and in terms of action, in terms of all sorts. Monza hasn't really had much racing action in previous years, but it's very good to hot lap, and it's also just a very historical circuit. Silverstone, I would swap Miami and Abu Dhabi. You know what? I won't swap them. I'll put Miami down in D tier. What else is everyone saying? I'll wait for a couple more messages to come in before I move on to something else. What do you guys want to see next? Do you want to see me do some Sporkle F1 quizzes? Do you want to see me do another tier list? Do you want me to see me? Well, this is your guys' live stream. This isn't my live stream. This is your live stream. Miami should probably go up. Mexico slightly down. Netherlands probably should drop a tier if anything. Okay, so Miami should go up. I mean, it's difficult. Miami, I don't think should go up. Let me have a look what else you said. Mexico slightly down. I'm all for Mexico hate, so why not? I'm like Top Gear. I'm all for Mexican hate. Netherlands probably a tier down. Where is Netherlands? I mean, to be fair, actually, yeah, that is a good point. It hasn't really. It's produced good atmosphere, but it hasn't produced good racing. That's a very fair point that I didn't consider. Should I put Miami in E tier instead of D? I wouldn't go that far. E tier means they're like Dallas 1984, Detroit 1982, like horrendous. Qatar in C, yeah. For me, it's produced decent races in 2021. I mean, 2023 wasn't great, but that was more because of the scheduling conflicts than with the actual race. A fun fantasy question. Is this for racing or as a track? It's for both. It's for racing product, it's for driving, it's for history, it's for everything. A fun fantasy question. Who would be more competitive? Oscar Piastri in the 1976 McLaren in the 1976 Championship, or James Hunt in the 2024 in the 2024 McLaren? Oscar Piastri in the 1976 McLaren. He's more consistent. James Hunt, although he was good, he was Mansfield. Bassett is talking about because Mansfield Town is my favourite team because I'm from Mansfield. Bro, Zandvoort is a legendary track. Racing is dead though. It is. It's a legendary track. I like the old layout. I've driven the old layout in F1 VB Challenge. I did it for my video on Hesketh, and I really like the track. But the new layout is just too short to really get any good racing. Best race last year was Zandvoort. Most overtakes ever. Granted, it was raining. Yeah, it was raining. That would have never happened in dry conditions, and it was. We would have had the most overtakes in F1 history at any racetrack. Apart from Monaco, really, with that amount of rain. Might be Monaco, maybe, but who knows? Hunt come party like that in these cars. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that eventually killed him. All that sort of stuff. We can do do you want to do a Sporkle? I'll go on Sporkle and see what F1 quizzes they got. I like doing random Sporkle F1 quizzes just to jog my memory. The problem is I've got my microphone here, so I've got to kind of sit really far away from my keyboard, so I can't really type quickly. Here we go. Let me just see. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Alright, total Formula 1 quizzes. Yeah, because if you look, I was initially like 14th in the world in this badge, but I dropped to 20th in the world because I just kind of stopped doing them. Because I got bored, essentially. Modern day Marina Bay racing is pretty ass. Excited to see what happens with the new zone. Yeah, it is kind of. Anyone but Denny Hulme. Ooh, can you name the drivers apart from Denny Hulme who fit in these clues? Okay. Is it going to work? Okay, it's a bit laggy. That's why. Oh yeah, Sporkle can make my laptop quite laggy. Their last F1 entry was from McLaren. Jenson Button. Stoffel Van Dorn. I mean, you could talk about Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. Or not Carlos Sainz. Oh, is it? What was the more? Because there's an asterisk there. Does not include McLaren drivers in the current season. Oh, for fuck's sake! I was trying to be clever and it didn't work. Let me look at Michael Andretti. Philippe Alliot was his last race in a McLaren. No, it wasn't. Mark Blundell might have been in the last race in the McLaren, though. It was. Nigel Mansell did his last couple of races with McLaren. Mika Hakkinen. Not David Coulthard. Not Kimi Raikkonen. not Pedro Della Rosa. Let me have a look what you guys are saying. Oh, you're not saying no. Okay. Bruce McLaren, who his last race would have been with McLaren. James Hunt raced for Wolf after he left McLaren, unfortunately, so we can't count him. Not Jochen Mass. I can't think of any of us. Top 3 in the WDC in the standings, 1970. 1970. So we got obviously Jochen Rindt, Jackie Hicks. Actually, I've just remembered one for that one. Stephen South was a driver for McLaren. John Watson as well. I forgot about him. Ronnie Peterson. 1970s. Jackie Stewart. Emerson Fittipaldi. Nicky Lauda. James Hunt. Oh yeah, Lauda was also a driver who last raced for McLaren. Nicky Lauda. Jody Scheckter. Alan Jones. Jacques Lafitte. Clay Regazzoni and Carlos Reutemann. Did Jack Brabham get one in his last season? He didn't, unfortunately, but he did get quite a few other ones. Chris Amon. Joe Siffert. Teammates with Mike Hailwood. Oh, that's a bit of a left field one. Who did he drive for? He drove for Surtees. Sorry, there was a couple of drivers on there. John Surtees, Rolf Stommelen. Did he drive? Was he teammate to Francois Migo at any point? Oh no, he wasn't. Graham Hill. No, that's gonna be. I'm not gonna do that one. Made their debut with Brabham, Damon Hill, obviously. All these drivers. Giovanna Amati made a debut for Brabham. Who else made their debut for Brabham? John Alesi, didn't he? Or was that Tyrrell? It might have been Tyrrell. Johnny Herbert, did he? No, he didn't. Did Nelson Piquet make his debut for Brabham? No, he didn't. I'll put Surtees in the teammates section. Who else is there? Made a debut with Brabham. Did Denny Hulme make his debut for Brabham? Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, it's because it's anyone but Denny Hulme. Oh, wow. That's why that didn't count. I knew I was going to do that at some point. Took a pole position at Kyle Army. Oh, I can do this. Prost. Senna. I'm guessing. Senna never took a pole at Kyle Army. That's interesting. Oh, it was only 1992 and 93 and 1985 that he could really do that, I guess. So 1985, we've got Prost, we've got Lauda. Could have been Alboreto, I guess. Arnoux, because he was a prolific driver in the 80s in that kind of era. Tombe? Yes. Keke Rosberg? No, but he did count for another category. I'm trying to think of when. Did Jim Clark in his last race do it? He did. Graham Hill? No. Alesi made his debut for Tyrrell. I thought he did, but my brain was blurred for a sec. I can't think of any more. Took their first win at Monaco. Oh, this should be easy. Fangio. Let me just go through the Monaco winners, actually. Maurice Trintignant. I think Peter Collins might have done. No, he didn't. I don't think Graham Hill took his first win. No, he didn't. Let me go back through the archives and see if I can think of any retrospective drivers who got their first win at Monaco. 2015, no. 2014, no. I can't think all of a sudden. Panis. I forgot about the one-time winners. Beltoise. Did Peterson get his first win? No, he didn't. It would have come up if he did. One-time winners around Monaco. I can't think. You think it's Stewart, but I've already put Stewart in. He's already there. 100 plus GP starts for no more than 2 teams overall. Lewis Hamilton. Kimi Raikkonen is not one. Fernando Alonso is not one. Let me think of Nick Heidfeld. No, surely not. No. No more than 2 teams overall. That's in their entire career. That's difficult. Hakkinen. Oh, he's already there. Trulli. That's a good one. Oh, that's for first win at Monaco. Yep. 2004. Forgot about that. My brain just goes to blank whenever I'm on a live stream. People who watched my last live stream will remember that I was fucking horrendous at ranking all the championship winning cars. I'll put the modern drivers in. Verstappen. Oh yeah, Verstappen is a good one. Yeah, Leclerc, Norris. You guys are coming through with these modern drivers that I just can't think of. Sainz, no. Ricardo might even be one. No, he's not because he's Oh, but he is for that one. Their last F1 entry was for McLaren, of course, because this is an old quiz. Sonoda. Oh yeah, because Sonoda's had enough time to actually be here. No, he's not. It doesn't count. Kvyat, yes. I'm starting to get hang up. 30 seconds left. I'm going to go back to these other ones with less drivers. I'm teammates with Mike Hailwood. Mike Spence. What about Jonathan Williams or people like that? Because I don't actually know which teams Mike Hailwood drove for, which is the problem. David Hobbs. Oh, David Hobbs, their last injury was on McLaren. Montoya could do that. May as well give it a go. Yep. 5 seconds to go. I'm not going to get these. Well, beating my previous best was 48%. It's now 70%. I'll get another random quiz going. That was quite fun. F1 unnecessary knowledge quiz. I'm gonna fucking ace this. Right, let's have a look. 5 minutes. How many constructors titles does Ferrari have? I'm gonna guess 20. Fuck, 16. I thought it was 16. Ayrton Senna has the most wins for McLaren, but our following drivers, who has the least wins for McLaren? Surely James Hunt. Really? Niki Lauda has less wins for... What is the speed limit on the pit lane? It depends on the circuit. It's either 80... I think it's 80. Finally. What is Daniel Ricciardo's middle name? I don't fucking know. Joseph. Yes. 2006, why I was having a shit. Yes. How many pole positions did Toyota get during their F1 days? 3. Who's the only African to win the... Yeah, Fangio, definitely. Who had big crash on lap 11 at the 2015 Russian Grand Prix? Grosjean. Sebastian Vettel was born in 1987. Who was champion that season? Nelson Piquet. Where was Romain Grosjean born? He was born in Switzerland. Only New Zealander, Denny Hulme. What unexpected mistake ruins Valtteri Bottas' race at Belgium 2015? His car didn't even start. Oh yeah, the team pitted both medium soft at the same time. Yeah, that was a thing. So I shat the first 2 questions and then did all of them. Right. We are not talking about those first 2 questions ever again. New F1 driver on a new F1 car. Can you name the F1 drivers who debuted on a debutant car? Okay, I'll try this. So I assume it's a new team and a new driver. A rookie team and a rookie driver. Oh, so it includes the 1950 British Grand Prix. Fangio, Farina, Fagioli. I was basically name all of the drivers who raced in the 1950 British Grand Prix. Fagioli, Parnell. Taylor. Oh no, right, is it Shaw Taylor or they put in? Oh, it doesn't work. What's his name? Leslie Johnson. Joe Fry, because he's the only Irish guy. Or is he not? Is it Joe Kelly I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is. It's Joe Kelly I'm thinking of. ERA. Oh, who were the ERA drivers back in the day? Why have I got Connaught in my head? That's a team name. There is Prince Birabongzi Bandej. Monaco, Louis Chiron. Switzerland, Rudy Fischer maybe? No. Tulo de Graffenried? Yeah. Italian driving for Maserati. Alberto Ascari. No, actually no. Ferrari didn't. Ascari didn't attend the first race because he was driving for Ferrari. Felice Bonetto potentially. Yes. French. Chaboud. Yves Givard Cabantu. I'm trying to think. Obviously, we've got the Ferrari guys at the next race. Ascari, Trintignant, I assume. Maybe not. Maybe Andre Simon. No. I'll go back to the modern one so I can see. So, 2016 Australian Grand Prix, Verline and Haryanto. 2012 Australian Grand Prix for the for Charles Peake, and 2010 Bahrain would have been Degrassi. 2010 Bahrain would have been Chandok as well, and Senna, and Sutil. Yes. 2006 Bahrain Grand Prix, E-Day, Scott Speed. Alan McNish. Ricardo Zonta, I think. 1997 Australia would have been Shinji Nakano. Not Roberto Moreno. What's his name? Pedro Diniz. Roland Ratzenberger. Unfortunately. Perry McCarthy. 1992 South African Grand Prix. Venturi. Is it one of the Suzuki brothers? Not brothers. Or is it Naoki Hattori? Who drove a Venturi? Is it Ukyo Katayama? Yes, it's Ukyo Katayama. Eric van der Poel, as Peter Brooks likes to call him. I call him Eric van der Poel because it's just easier. Gary Brabham, the less said about him, the better. Belgian, driving for Onyx, Bertrand Gachot. Then you've got Oscar Larrauri. Coloni. 1980s, that's thrown me off. That's thrown me for a loop. Is it Nicola Larini? Oh, yes, it is. Tolman, Derek Warwick. Spanish Grand Prix for Cowson. Is that Gianfranco Brancatelli? Ha! That is a very good guess. Martini for France. I think that was Rene Arnoux' debut. Yes, it was. Argentine Grand Prix. Oh, I did a video on Theodore. It's Eddie Cheever. Muguruza is Muguruza. He was a driver who entered his own car. Kojima, 1976 Japanese Grand Prix. Is it Takahara or Takahashi? Or is it Hasemi? Yes. Yo says Hunor. I'm not going to try and pronounce that last name. It looks Turkish or German. Georgi Hadji, great footballer. Linkar, Chris Amon. Was it one of those fucking funky teams that Chris Amon used to drive for? Larry Perkins. I can't think of any other driver. Token, that could have been Tom Price. It is. Let me think. French. Oh, Liechtenstein. Ricky Von Opel. He's the only Liechtensteiner driver in F1 history. Shadow for USA could be Mark Donahue. No. A shadow driver. American. I can't think. American drivers of that era who started in the 70s. It wouldn't be Peter Revson. It wouldn't be Mark Donahue because I've already put him in and it wasn't him. I can't think. 1972 British Grand Prix for Connu. French driver. Oh, is that Francois Miguel? Yeah, it is. 1967 Monaco. Jean-Pierre Beltroise and Johnny Servoz Gavan. Honda, Ronnie Bucknam. Most people think of Dan Gurney when they think of Honda, but it's actually Ronnie Bucknam who was their first driver. Stebro, is that Alpes? No, it's not. Is it George Eaton? Is it Epi Wheatsez or whatever his fucking name was? No. LDS. Oh, a South African driver in 1962. Was it John Love? Was it Tony Maggs? Was it Peter de Klerk? Was it Dave Charlton? Oh, I can't think. 1960 USA, Monaco, your Scarab drivers. I was going to say Harry Shell, but they're way early. Could be Richie Gin. No, not Richie Gimper. It could be Dan Gurney though. Nope, fuck. I've clicked off that bar. Can't think. 1959 British. Can't think. Lotus would have been Inez Ireland and Cliff Allison, I think. Or would have been Cliff Allison and Jim Clark. Yeah, it would have been. No, it wouldn't. It would have been Graham Hill. Yep. 1956 Emerson. Can't think. Arzani Volpini. Can't think. Carl Kling. Those. EMW. Can't think. Italy. These are all the teams I don't know. Aston. Bill Aston. Was it not Bill Aston driving an Aston? No. Fraser Nash. I can't think. Veritas. Definitely not. Unless I can get. Was it Peter Hurt? Oh my god! The only reason I know who Peter Hurt is because he competed in the 1952 Swiss Grand Prix and I did a video on Switzerland in Formula 1. Sterling Moss, Mike Hawthorne. I cannot think of the French drivers to save my fucking life. Jean Berard, was he competing that early? No, he wasn't. I don't think Maurice Trintignant was either. Oh, he was. Okay. I was wrong. A French driver for Ferrari in that era. Can't think. I'll leave it at that. It's 3 seconds to go anyway. Right. Who did I miss? I missed John Nicholson. Yeah, I don't know who he is. George Follmer. Oh. Fuck. I could have got that. The rest of them. I know some of these guys. I just... Oh, Harry Shell was one of them. Fuck. And Robert Manzon. Oh, I could have got some of these if I'd have just paid more attention. Okay. I'm happy with that, though. Oh, we've still got 7 viewers. What do you guys want me to do now? What was my best guesses? So it tells you your quiz stats. So it tells you the least guesses that you got. Peter Hurt, Leslie Johnson. Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. What do you guys want to see now? Do you want to see another quiz? Do you want me to go through all of my racing stats? More all the different drivers I've got profiles of. So and you can possibly see some spoilers of some of my future videos, as my glasses are fucking filthy. World Champion quiz. What do you mean by a World Champion quiz? Just a quiz where I've got to name all the World Champions, because that's piss easy. I can do that all in about 2 minutes. I know what I could do. I've just thought of something. I could do a Guess the Driver challenge, which is where you're going to guess the F1 driver. Driverall. Yeah, it's an actual thing. Who do you think is the best champion this century? Schumacher. So we'll do not 2014 to 2024, which simpleton do you think I am? We'll do 1980 to 2024. We'll say they don't have to have scored a point, and we'll say infinite, so we don't have to worry about getting the same driver and over again. How many guesses do I want? I want 20 guesses preferably, but I don't think I'm going to be able to change that. Right, so we'll start with World Champion tier list, maybe. Okay, I'll do that after I've done one of these. Johnny Herbert is always the driver I start with in these, because he's always mostly a middle ground. So, submit. So, his first year was after 1989, and his last year was after 2000. He hasn't won a World Championship. He has more than one pole position, so he's quick. He's got less than one. Okay. Could it be Jarno Trulli? Because I know he's got a lot of pole positions, but not a lot of wins. Okay, so this guy doesn't have a win. What does it? Hold on, let me just check what the orange actually means. Correct number, wrong stat. Ooh. So a guy who I assume has one pole position. Or one podium, even. The best driver not to win a title this century. There's a couple of Rubens Barrichello, Montoya, who else? Massa, Webber, that's about it, really. Nigel de Jong, GP2 driver from my from one of my he wasn't a GP2. That's Daniel de Jong. I'm thinking of Nigel de Jong was the guy who kung fu kicked someone in the chest at the 2010 South African Grand Prix, South African World Cup. So their last year was after after 2000. Oh, so they could be quite recent. I'll go for 2024. Someone like I could even go for someone like Lando Norris. So their last year was 2024. Their first year was before. I think they have no World Championships. They have less than 2 wins, obviously. No championships. Less than 2. They have no wins. They have no wins, but they have more than one pole position. Oh, I know who it is. It's either Hulkenberg or Magnussen now. Just Magnussen. Yes. That was pretty easy because it's a newer driver. Where does your background look like the basement where I had chemistry class? Because it's my university accommodation. It's not really that that kitted out. What was the bit people wanted me to have? A world champion quiz. I can do those, but they're boring because I know it all and it's pretty easy. I'll go on to here and I'll search F1 champions quiz. Let me have a look. Search F1 champ. What is this? Just give me a Formula. Okay, 19th to 2023. I can do all these off the back of my hand anyway, but it's selecting them. Okay, Jackie Stewart, John Surtees, Alain Prost, Sebastian Vettel, Jacques Villeneuve, Niki Lauda, Graham Hill, Mario Andretti, Damon Hill, Emerson Fittipaldi, Max Verstappen, Fangio, Hakkinen, Rosberg, Hunt, Hamilton, Senna, Clark, Jones, Hulme, Alonso, Rindt, Jack Brabham, Michael Schumacher, Alberto Ascari, Nico Rosberg, Jenson Button, Kimi Raikkonen, Nelson Piquet, Mike Hawthorne, not Michael Andretti, Phil Hill, Nigel Mansell. There we go. So I got all of them in 45 seconds. I could probably go faster than that if I properly tried. Does it rejiggle them all? It does rejiggle them all, so I'm going to try and go faster than that. There we go. Okay, 33 seconds. I've narrowed it down quite quickly. We can do some more of those Guess the F1 Driver, because that was fun. Right, let's do another one. That was pretty easy. I'll go with Johnny Herbert as my starting driver again. Okay, less than 3 wins, 0 pole positions. Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? They've been since 2000, so we'll go for 2000. Someone whose last year was 2012. What about Pedro De La Rosa? Okay, they haven't got a podium. They haven't got as many points. I have a feeling that this is going to be someone who's really, really shit. Let's go Logan Sargent. Okay, they're before 2023. That's promising. So I can go with their last year being... What's the middle between 2012 and 2024? 2018. Whose last year was 2018 and who was dog shit? Someone like Paul Di Resta, because he was 2017, it close enough. So between 2012, so 2015 is around, and they had about 2 seasons in F1. They left around 2015. Can I think of who it could be already? As Calvin Harris, and it would say, "This is what you came for, lol." Yeah. Let me think of... Oh, could it be Esteban Gutierrez? Oh, you bastard, that could have been legendary. So their last year was 2016. Felipe Nasr? I'm just a genius. Right. Right, more new games. Guess what? I'm going to put Johnny Herbert as the first driver because I'm fucking boring. I do the same one every single time. No wins. Oh, sorry, no World Championships. No poles. Since 2000. I'll go Pedro De La Rosa again. Okay, no podiums. And they have been... Oh, hold on. They were before 2012, so 2006 could have been around their last season. I've got Christian Albers. So, they were between 2007 and 2000 for their last year. F1 driver team anagrams on Sporkle. Oh, I could do that. I don't like anagrams, though, because I can never get them. Last season, 2004. I will do that after I've done this. Hold on. Pitsonia? So, I'm confused now. Their last season... Oh, their last season was after 2007, not before 2007. Oh, okay. So I should have been going the other way. Last season, 2009. Sebastian Bourdais. Last season was 2009. But their first year was before 1999. So it's someone who was around for a long, long time. Who retired in 2009. So you have Vettel, Webber. No. Hamilton, Kovalainen, no. Button and Barrichello, no, because Barrichello's last year was 2011. Ferrari was Raikkonen. Badoa, that isn't... No, actually, no, he's got more points than that. He's got more points than what they have. Could be Fisichella, though. Actually, no, this guy has no wins and Fisichella has wins, so it can't be him. Red Bull, no. A driver who was around a long time. I'm not going to cheat by going on Wikipedia. I will do the F1 anagrams on Sport Call, by the way. I just need to think of this one first. I've only got 5 guesses left. I could try and narrow down. I could go Badoa because I know it's not him, but I could try and narrow down that window of when their last year was. Oh, it is Badoa. He says he got 26 career points when he didn't. He got 0 career points. He's a driver with the most point, the most races without a point in F1. He says he got 26 points. That's just a lie. Maybe it's points in the modern point system or some reason. For some reason they've decided to do it on modern points. We'll do that anagrams one that people are talking about. Right, can I name... Right, that's Prost. That's PK. That's Rint. That's Jones. That's Farina. That is... I'm not sure. That is... Not sure. That is... Button. That is Schumacher. That is... I'm not sure. That is Raikkonen. That is Hakkinen. That is... Oh, surely I should be able to get 5 letters. I can't get 5 letters for fuck's sake. It is champions as well. It's not like I can't think. Holm, there we go. Brabham. Fittipaldi. No Lasso. No, I can't think. What the fuck is that? Verstappen. I was about to say that was a very long... That's Hunt. Scheckter. Fangio. Hill. Who? Hamilton. Senna. Clark. Don't know. Vettel. Ascari. Fucking hell, I'm only going to get 22 here. Hawthorne, that is. Oh, God. I can't type. Yeah, I can't get the rest. Stewart, Villeneuve, Loudest. Okay. I can't. My brain just doesn't work with anagrams. It just does not work. I don't have the same. I don't have the same brain processes that everyone else does. And then people put what you want to do in the chat as I go and do another one of these because they're fun. Johnny Herbert. They've come since. Let me guess. We're going to do Pedro de la Rosa. Yeah. And then we're going to go for a modern driver who hasn't got a podium. So, Nico Hülkenberg. Okay. Then we're going to go for a driver like Sergei Sirotkin, who was around the 2018 mark. Okay. So they started around 2014. They have less than. They don't even have any points. What about Max Chilton? Yes, that was a good guess. Right, I'll wait for someone to put in the chat what they want me to do next. What time even is it? Fucking hell, it's nearly 3 o'clock. I can waffle on. That's probably why you all watch my videos. Has anyone watched my video that released earlier on today, by the way? The one on Ronnie Peterson. We can have a look. We can have a look at that or whatever. People can tell me. Gary Medell quiz. Jack, I know you're doing the football references. I'll come on and play FIFA with you later, mate. You haven't watched the video yet. I'll watch it after this stream. It's one of my better ones, I think, to be fair. Actually, I might go and quickly see how that video is doing. Usually I like to say that if a video gets as many views as it's been minutes up, so if it's had 60 minutes up and it's got 60 views, then I like to say it's done decently well. If it's been up for 2 hours and it's got 120 views, that's good. How long? This is where I find out it's got 4 views after 150. I'll take that. So most of my videos do that. I've had quite a few good ones. Obviously, if I sort by popular, it won't actually show some of my recent ones. But like, oh really? My Crazy Season F1 history is second best now. That's good. Champion tier list or favourite tier? Oh, we could do favourites. See, I don't really have many favourites in modern Formula 1, but I can give it a go. Let me just get rid of a Sporkle page because I know that is the one that's causing us issues with lag and stuff. We can go back to F1 2024. F1 2024 drivers tier list should be simple. Oh, they're so fucking tiny. Let me. Right, Bevan Mag. See, you want to? So anyone played the game? Do you remember on the mobile, on your iPhones, on your iOS devices or whatever, Android or whatever? There used to be a game you could play called F1. What was it? Apex Manager, and then before that it was called Formula Legend. They had where it's like a proper F1 game that you could download. Not actual driving, but like you could manage your drivers and do tire strategies and stuff. Best without a title is Sterling though. I disagree only because of the fact that I think Sterling was pretty much a champion of 1958. If it wasn't for if it wasn't for his own sportsmanship, he would have won that title. But yeah, Kevin Magnussen. But I was making a reference because Kevin Magnussen in the Formula Legend game was called Bevan Magnet. Guan Yu Zhou. Yeah, I mean Magnussen is pretty much D tier. He's washed at this point. Got ran over. He's been ran over by Hülkenberg, and it kind of proved just how pants Mick Schumacher was as well, because he ran over Schumacher and Magnussen got ran over by Hülkenberg. So, yeah, Guan Yu Zhou is also a bit mid now. Sargent. Why is he giving me all the mid drivers first? Fuck off. Sargent's worse than Zhou and thingy. Sevilla to Cardiff to Inter to Bologna. Ricardo is C tier. Perez is C tier behind Ricardo. Bottas is C tier ahead of. Why are they giving me all the shit ones first? Why can't you give me someone good? Leclerc goes in A tier for now. Stroll goes in C tier ahead of. But I'm gonna just take my hat off a second because I need to itch. Also, when I got this hat, I didn't realise that it had the really elevated peak, so I look like a Vanilla Ice when I wear it. It's fucking funny. Fernando Alonso, B tier, because he was shit at points of this season, but he's actually kind of improved. No, actually, I'll put him in C tier below. No, actually, what I'll do is I'll move both him and Stroll up a tier and put Stroll ahead of Alonso. I'll put it in terms of how I think they're performing, and I'll put them in terms of how I like them, in terms of personalities and stuff. Albon goes in B tier ahead of Stroll and Alonso. Sainz goes in B tier. He's not really been doing that good this season, to be honest. George goes in A tier. Esteban Ocon goes in. I haven't really seen much of Ocon since Monaco, so I'll go C tier behind Bottas. Norris has been C tier. Piastri. Actually, no, I think that's a bit unfair on Norris. I'll put him up in A tier with Piastri. Hulkenberg has been very underrated. I'd go top of B tier for him. Gasly can go in. I don't know how he's been compared to Ocon, so I'll just put the two French boys together. Verstappen's S tier. Hamilton there behind Piastri ahead of Norris, and Tsunoda's been doing good this year. I'll put him up at the top of B tier with Hulkenberg. What do you guys think of that ranking? So I've got Max Verstappen at the top. He's been the best driver this season in my opinion. Leclerc second, Russell third, Piastri fourth, Hamilton fifth, Norris sixth. To be fair, I'd even put Hulkenberg up in that tier and actually move Norris down into B tier. Crazy to think that Vettel's final year was a year after Raikkonen, and he retired a year later as well. I mean, what does that actually mean? His final year was a year after Raikkonen, and he retired a year after as well. Your final year is your retirement year. I'm confused what you mean by that. So we've got Hulkenberg up in A tier. Norris just hasn't been performing. Tsunoda, Albon, Sainz, Stroll, Alonso, Bottas, Gasly, Ocon, Ricardo, Perez, Magnussen, Zhou, Sargent. Sargent F. Actually, that's fair. That's fair. And then we can make a nice tree. Look, it's nearly symmetrical. If A and D were symmetrical, then you could make it a symmetrical thing. Vettel's final win was a year after Raikkonen, and he retired a year after as well. Oh yeah. Right, so we've done that tier list. I'll wait for anyone to put any more opinions they have in case there was like an ad break or something. I know I put ads on for this stream, which I didn't last time, which lost me a lot of money. By a lot of money, I mean not a lot to be fair, but could easily argue that Bottas has been D-tier. The thing is, the stake has just been shit. I think that, especially in the last couple of races, Zhou has been really slacking off, while Bottas has just been okay. There's not really any way to measure him, the same way with Gasly and Ocon. Because C tier I kind of see as average, like you've done average. Ricardo and Perez kind of sit perfectly in there, especially with Perez now starting to get to grips with that Red Bull. Especially now we know that it wasn't his fault, that he was shit, because the Red Bull had problems. As early as Spain 2023. I'll do a personality or who do I support the best. I'll get another one with the new boys in as well, Bearman and Colapinto, if I can find one. Yep, there's Colapinto, and do we have Bearman in here too? No, we don't. Fucking hell. I'll actually search by recent here. F1 24 drivers. F1 ships. Fuck off whoever's made that fucking shite. Right. So, This is all based on personality and who I support the most. So George can go in B tier because I don't support him. I don't support him and I don't hate him. Sonoda, the same, but I like him a bit more than George. Piastri, I don't support any drivers, so no one will be going in this S tier. But Piastri is one of the drivers I do like because he reminds me of me. He's very nonchalant. He's just like, yeah. He doesn't really deal with much emotion, which I like. Ricardo can get in the bin. I hate his fans trying to act like he's the second coming of God. I know Jack Bassett is in this chat, and he's a sane Ricardo fan, so I don't mind those kind. But yeah, Colapinto I really like. He likes rizzing up reporters, which is funny. Verstappen I don't like nor hate him. He can go same, although you can't actually put them on the same level. He's on the same level as George, I think. If I know a bit more, because I like his no nonsense way of doing things. I like the way he just doesn't really give a shit about what people think, which is good. Ocon doesn't help himself. I'd put him ahead of Ricardo just because his fans aren't as insufferable as Ricardo's. Can't judge a driver's personality on their fans though. You can't. But it's not just personality, it's how I like them, how I support them. So it's both of those two things combined. You can develop a dislike for them though, yeah. Norris has turned into an arrogant cunt ever since he's got in the fastest car, so he can go in C tier, maybe in D tier. Like, it's not that I don't want him to win this title. I think it would be a great statistical anomaly if he won this title, and it would make people realise that having the best car doesn't mean actually. Well, if he wins the title, it will mean that having the best car does mean you win an F1, but it throws that into array when he's only just winning it. If he does win it, Stroll, I don't mind him. I'd put him on the same level as like Tsunoda, George, Gasly. Same level as Ocon. He's French. That brings him down a bit. Leclerc, okay, I guess he's more one of the ones I support. Alonso, his fans, I would put him up here if it wasn't for his fans. His fans are also insufferable. So I'll put him on the same level as George, Lance, and Yuki. Next is Hülkenberg. I really like Nico Hülkenberg. I think he's a really class driver and a really class person as well. I'll put him third in here. Kevin Magnussen. He's just a nothing driver. I'll put him up with Gasly and Ocon. Sainz, he's okay, I guess. Middle of the pack. Norris is what most people think Stroll is in terms of his arrogance, etc. That's actually a really good comparison. Actually, I didn't think of that. Bottas, I like his carefree style that he's developed since he left Mercedes. But apart from that, he's just kind of average. I put him up with Max and co. Sargent, I didn't really have a chance to really look at him before he left, so I guess average. Behrman, I said I wasn't going to put anyone in S tier, but I really do support Behrman. He was really nice when I met him at Silverstone in 2023, and he's just a really nice person. He's just really nice. Hamilton, I'll put him on the same level as Max, so no one. I know no one will because we're all sensible here, but so no one says, "Oh, you're a Lewis fan or you're a Max fan." They're both together. If I could, I'd put them both on top of each other. That is a very sus sentence, and I didn't mean it like that. Guan Yu Zhou, I actually don't mind Zhou in terms of personality. I think he's kind of got some level of personality about him. Albon, I think he's the friend in the group that tries to be funny but isn't. Tries to make references. I've seen him on the Sky Sports bits, and he just isn't that funny to me. That just might be me being autistic though. So I'll put him at the top of kind of A tier, sorry. And then Perez can go like on the end here because I don't really have any. Oh, it's symmetrical. Yeah, Behrman is S tier for me. I think he really nice person. I met him at Silverstone. I might have posted the picture at some point of me meeting him at Silverstone in 2023. Really nice guy, really fast driver, quite underrated. But yeah, I've made a symmetrical tier list. What else do you guys want me to do? We could do a champions tier list, I guess, because someone did suggest that at some point, didn't they? What are these? How much do you like F1 drivers? Fuck me, that's an awful idea. Bolid, what's this? Bolid F120. Oh, that's going to be brain rot or something, isn't it? Grid ship. What? Oh, Formula 1 Grade 1 tier list track. Is it just all the F1 races? That's boring. It's not just great. There are some other ones in there, actually. I can just about pick out, but the problem is, because they're all... None of you guys can see any of that, can you? Joe is easily the most boring driver on the grid. I think he has some personality when you see snippets of him. Can you guys see all these little track outlines? Would it help potentially? Is there a light mode that you can go in this? Oh, let me just hold on. I might need to quickly put you guys on another tab here. Can I just quickly move the screen capture to... Can I put it on my... I can't put it just on my background. That's annoying. The assessment of R1 is fair. I see a lot of Sky Sports and Williams stuff. Yeah, I would, if I could log in and turn this to dark mode, turn this to light mode. I could possibly do this one, but it's just impossible to. Presentation mode. Here we go. Oh shit! I didn't realize you could do that. That's cool. Change background color. Does that help things? Ow, my eyes! No, it doesn't. It doesn't change the background of the actual pictures. Fuck off. What's this? That looks shit. That looks shit. That looks shit. Right, we're going back to white. No, black, sorry. When you go black, you never go back. What can I say? Actually, no, I'll go a bit less. I'll go a bit darker. I'll do the. I'll try and describe these tracks to you if you can't see them. They're transparent, so you can see them. Okay. First track is Melbourne. I put that in B tier. Decent track. Estoril. Oh, it's the shit layout of Estoril. See, if this was the layout of Estoril where, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse cursor here, but there's a little chicane here. If they went this layout, the little grade one, this would be, and this layout with the fast turn one, this would be an S tier track. I've driven it in F1 2013. It's the singular greatest track in F1 gaming history. But with the chicanes in, it's got to be D tier. If it was without the chicanes, it'd be S tier, but with the chicanes, D tier. Mexico is horrendous. What's this? Hold on, I can't see what that is. I think that's Mugello. Yeah, that's Mugello. C tier, it was decent when F1 went there. That's Imola. Imola can get in the fucking bin. Same as Mexico, but it's ahead of Mexico. Interlagos, good track. Monza, good track. Bahrain can go in B tier behind Melbourne. Baku can go in A tier. Tell me if you guys think I'm doing anything wrong, by the way. Bud is a very good circuit. I'd put it up in B tier with the likes of Bahrain and Australia. Got to be joking. Why have I got to be joking? Why have I got to be joking, Saye? I hope I pronounced that right. I'll wait for him to respond because I know I'm on a bit of a delay here for some fucking reason. I'll wait for him to make his opinions known because I actually want to see what he was saying about got to be joking. Right. While we wait for him to respond, we will go for what is this track? That is, I don't know what track that is. Can anyone tell me what track this is? That layout, though, looks kind of nice. This one, by the way, I don't know what track that is. Can I image search, potentially? I don't think I can image search, that's annoying. Bahrain. Bahrain is B tier for me. I don't know what circuit this is, so I'm just going to leave it for now until someone can tell me what that is. Spain can go in C tier along with Mugello. Because, again, Mugello is a good track to drive, but it's not really good for racing, especially not in F1. The next track is... That is Ricardo Tormo. I've driven that in GT cars. It's nice to drive in GT cars, but it wouldn't work for F1. People always mention it when they talk about how F1 went to a Valencia street circuit instead of Ricardo Tormo. It wouldn't have been good at Ricardo Tormo. So I'll go C tier along with Spain, along with Catalonia, that is. Next track, Monaco, S tier. Those black tracks. I'm confused what you mean. Do you mean the ones that aren't F1, the ones that aren't actually in F1? Or do you mean if they're just hard to see? Because I can't see this, for example. I'm going to put this in Lance Stroll tier, and then someone can tell me what it looks like. I don't know what track that is. I recognise the layout, so I do know. I have seen it before, but I don't know what track it is. Magny Core. You see, it's annoying. A lot of nostalgic F1 fans from the 2000s go, "Oh my god, Magny Core was so good. Get it back up." Well, back when Paul Ricard was on the calendar, they used to say, "Oh, get it on the calendar instead of Paul Ricard. Paul Ricard is shit. Magny Core was amazing." But when you ask them, name one good race at Magny Core, apart from 1999, and they go, but qualifying, it was so fast. It's good for one lap. But Magny Core was just a bit shit for racing because it was just corner into corner into corner into corner into corner, and you can't get any sort of like run on people. So for that, I'll have to put it in B tier along with Bud, because it's a good track to drive. It's just not really good for overtaking. Algarve is shit. I'll put it in C tier with the likes of Mugello. Spa, S tier, top of S tier. Canada, A tier along with Baku. Kota, C tier, B tier ahead of Magny Core. Paul Ricard ahead of Magny Core, because it was actually good in its last couple of years in F1. It just got dropped because it wasn't like superb. Zandvoort, C tier. I'd say it's better than Algarve, but not as good as Mugello. Next track after, what is this? That is Jerez. Jerez is fantastic to drive in old F1 cars. I've driven that again, F1 2013. That was my shit. But after that, it's just a bit shit. It's just not that good. Yeah, modern F1 cars would not be good around here. Spa is easily the GOAT track, yeah. But yeah, Jerez would have to go in C tier because it wouldn't be good in modern F1. That is... Why do I recognise that track layout? Oh, I know why I recognise it. That's Dubai Autodrome. That is Dubai on Project Cars 2. I've driven that in Formula Renault 3.5 cars, and it's alright actually. It's an alright circuit. It's better than Abu Dhabi. I'd much rather them go there than Abu Dhabi. I put it in C tier along with Spain. Fuji, again, wouldn't be... I actually think that Fuji alternating with Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix wouldn't be a bad idea, because it'd mean Suzuka would become more of a kind of classic, I think, because it would be like less available, and Fuji would be better for overtaking. It would. It's more modern, or it's more modernised. I do believe that that'd be a good idea for Fuji to return to the F1 calendar. When it was obviously there in 2007 and 2008, but I think it was genuinely like a solid B tier track, even in its current iteration. Hockenheimring B tier. I'd probably put it around where Fuji and Kota are. Fuji should be on the calendar as a Pacific Grand Prix. That's a shout, actually. Obviously, that means you'd have to get rid of one of the other races, which F1 will never do. They'll never get rid of the tracks that need to be gotten rid of, like Miami. That's why I think we should alternate with Suzuka, because it wouldn't take another track off the calendar. Hungary is decent. Better than Magny-Cours. Not as good as Paul Ricard, though. What's this? That is... I can't even make out the outline of that circuit. Never mind see what track it is. I can't see that. Hold on. Is that Mont Tremblant? Let me just check. Let me just Google the Mont Tremblant layout. That looks like Mont Tremblant. Like, you tell me that doesn't look like that. That is Mont Tremblant. I don't believe it'd be good for modern F1. And this is one of the only. I think this is the only circuit that we've covered so far, but I've never driven in any simulator. So I can't really give it an opinion. I'm gonna have to put it in C tier, just bog standard C tier, because I can't give an opinion on it. Hello, Adam Radek. Oh no, not this guy. I remember this guy. He's from one of my old leagues. I might have to Looks like a Cornish GP to me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just don't want to risk someone who I know has used racial slurs in my chat being allowed to talk in my chat. So, the old Indy Road course, obviously this layout with the two hairpins is horrendous, but I think the modern Indy Road course layout would be good for F1. I'd much rather it over Miami. One of the best opinions you gave there was you made there was Stroll over Bianchi. Yeah, Bianchi for me was overrated. You see, me being autistic, I think, has given me a filter where I don't let sentiment take over my actual opinions of someone. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, Bianchi, future champion, he would have been in Ferrari with Charles Leclerc. Like, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I doubt he would have been. I doubt that he would have even made it to Ferrari, to be honest, because at the end of the day, Ferrari will never sign a driver that is just they wouldn't, like, they never signed Mick Schumacher because it was sentiment. Like, it just would have never happened. He was never good enough. Probably because he only got to F1 when he was like 25, which is late by modern standards, and that's probably why, for my opinion. I think Indy Road course could definitely come back in an iteration or another and be good, but Istanbul Park, also a good B tier track. Jeddah, get in the fucking bin, you dangerous cunt. That's China, fuck. China, that can go in B tier. All of the tracks are in fucking B tier, by the way. I've just decided they're all congregating here. Actually, it's better than Paul Ricard, and it's probably better than Kota as well. Next one is, I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh, it's Korea. It's Yonggam. I like Yonggam. I've driven this in F1 games. First two, obviously, the first sector is boring. Second sector is where it gets really nice. And this entire last sector is one of the best sectors I've ever driven in a modern F1 game. It is. That's why I probably put it in B tier, around where Buddy is. In fact, I'd put it ahead of Bahrain, and as a track, ahead of Melbourne. As a track, it's better than Melbourne. I will jig around some of these tiers so that it's a lot more even, by the way. So it's not just like every single track in B tier and all the other ones are just scraping around for the other ones. Lol, why the Jeddah disrespect? Because it's unsafe. Because someone is going to die there. And the FIA will be responsible for allowing a track that's clearly not safe enough for F1 to be allowed to race there. This is that Moscow Raceway? Or is that Q8 Motor Town? Let me just Google. Is that Q8 Motor Town? It is Q8 Motor Town. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it hosts like junior formulas. How long is that track? Because you can't really tell if the layout's going to be good. It is 3.8 miles, so it's actually quite a long layout. That could be a banging track. Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? Oh, that being turn 1 doesn't really. That's not really good. But it looks that looks like a decent layout. They're modifying it soon now, aren't they, Jeddah? No, they are trying to build a new facility in Qiddiya, which is another part in Saudi Arabia. I'll show you the new layout. Qiddiya F1 layout. I remember when pictures of Qiddiya came out. That is what the new Qiddiya track is going to look like. And the annoying thing is, I hate all these Saudi and Middle Eastern business projects and all these F1 projects because I don't like Saudi Arabia or any of the stuff they stand for. But that's a fucking good track. That is annoyingly good. That is annoyingly good. The track in Lance Stroll is Burnham Circuit in Thailand. Oh! That's why I know what it is. Because one of my old uni mates from my old university knew a mate who raced in the Thai Touring Car Championship. That's how I knew what that circuit was. But yeah, that actually does look like a decent. And now I can Google it and see how long that circuit is. Burnham Circuit. Oh, it's called Chang. Oh yeah, Chang. Oh yeah, my mate literally has a picture of him going 5 wide down one of the back straights here in the Thai Touring Car Championship. So it is. How long is it? It is 2.8 miles. 4.5. That's not how. Actually, let me go into my racing stats and see how long that is compared to other tracks. Because I can just do that. Track info. 4.5 was it? Let me just double check. Yeah, 4.5. So that's about the same length as. Oh, it's about the same length as Fuji. That would work. That would work. Actually, that looks like a decent track then. Where have I put it? Oh, not this again. Do you remember last time I did a tier list where I forgot where I put things? Where did I put it? There I put it. Oh, I can go in B tier. Q8 Motor Town can also go in B tier around there. For some really good circuits that everyone's missing out on. Vegas can go in, guess what, B tier. I will be sorting all these out into their own tiers. On the tier list maker, you see the names of the track in F12 or Inspect. Oh, okay. Qatar can go C tier along with like Spain. Singapore. I don't know why I pronounced it like I was speaking Spanish then. I can go to ahead of Kota. Nope, ahead of Kota is what I meant. Miami, get in the bin. That is... I thought I was Zolder for a second. F12 or inspect. Let me just inspect this. Wait, that's Moscow Raceway. Well, what was this then? Oh, that was Q8 Motortown. Moscow Raceway. That looks decent, I guess. So C tier. That I can't even see what that is. I can't even make out what that track is. What is it? I'm gonna inspect it again so I can just see what the track is. Oh, Aragon, Motorland Aragon. It's a bike track, that is, isn't it? Let me just Google the Motorland Aragon. So it would be using that layout. That looks like a decent track for not for racing, but for hot lapping. That looks like a lovely little track. Depends on how long it is. .1 miles. I guess. I mean, LMP2 cars can do like 143s around it. That means F1 will probably do about 130. Okay, that looks like a decent track. I'll put that in B tier, would you guess? Then we've got Nürburgring GP. I'll put it around where Istanbul is. Austria can go up in A tier. Sepang can go up in A tier, top of A tier, I'd say. Silverstone, S tier, behind Monza. Sochi, C tier, I guess. Around where Algarve is. Suzuka, S tier. I'll probably put it ahead of Monaco. Forza United, Downs Raceway in Redruth. Surprisingly, I don't know about that circuit. Let me have a look at it. Is it an actual circuit? United Downs Raceway. Guys, if you want me to rate your tracks that you live nearby, what the fuck is this? Cromwell Leaf and Coil Club, piss off. Stock Car and Banger Racing, count me in though. Can I see like the layout of the track? Layout. But don't tell me it's just an oval. It looks like it might just be an oval. Oh, it is. It's an oval. I wouldn't mind doing some oval racing now. That'd be fun. I like oval racing. I'm fast at oval racing. And Abu Dhabi can get in the fucking bin. Right, I'll just quickly clean up the monstrosity in B tier, and then we'll be going. So all those tracks can stay in S tier. Sepang can stay there. Those are staying there. Yongam can move up a bit. These tracks can move up into A tier. Bahrain can't. I'll move Bud past them, actually. Bud is a bit underrated. So then what I'll do is I'll move these lot down into Lance Stroll tier. I think what it is just I kind of gave a bit too much room to some of these tracks. I'll move Mexico City down to Lance Stroll. There we go. Now I've got 2 extra tiers worth of room. I just can't really rate any of these tracks. I definitely can't rate what's his face. This one. And what I can do actually is move those back up a little bit, because I don't think it's fair to put Mont Tremblant in E tier when I've never even driven it before. Should rate Coast to Coast karting track in Hale as well. I went there. I've gone there before when I went on holiday to Cornwall. I do remember it. Was that I'm trying to think. I might remember it. Hold on, let me just go on Google. But yeah, if you guys want me to rate one of your local circuits, if you live in some far-strung place in the world, I don't mind. Or even if you live in like the UK, you can get me to rate your local track. I don't fucking care. How do I check the track layout? I'll tell you what. I go to my local because I'm at uni. I go to my local team sport place, and I'm pretty quick there. I think I'm only like a second or two off of the fastest time ever there. Let me just see if I recognise. Obviously, it might have changed since I went there. Yeah, it definitely has. I don't remember this layout. That looks horrendous. Maybe not in rental cars. That looks horrendous for anything that's actually quick. It's funny because I've driven a lot of I've driven at Daytona Milton Keynes, which is the longest kart track in the UK. It might even be the longest kart track in the world, in terms of like not one that's indoor and like 8,000 tiers or whatever it is. I've driven at Daytona Milton Keynes, and that's actually on racingcircuits.info, which is a website that I use for stuff. Daytona Milton Keynes. It's a very good circuit. It was actually designed by James Hunt. I've commentated there as well. Oh, it's supposed to be here. My bad. Daytona MK layout. But yeah, I've commentated at Daytona Milton Keynes before. Cape Town does Formula E. I can look at a Cape Town track for you if you want. Yeah, this is what Daytona Milton Keynes looks like. I could probably get a better picture. So start finish line, through turn one, flat out, lift off through here. This is a very tricky corner to get right, because especially in rental carts, you often find yourself trying to counteract the balance of the cart. You go down here, you don't go into here, you go through this right-hander, which is very bumpy and can be annoying and can unsettle your cart. Then into here. It's a very nice. I've never used what they call. I think it's like the cliff drop or the cliffhanger or something that they call it. Hairpin down here. I was very good at that when I was driving. Down the long straight, fast left-hander, flat out into there. But it's a very nice little track. When you arrive there and do what you like an arrive and drive session, you have Martin Brundle doing your little fucking. Oh, this is what a red flag is. This is what a yellow flag is. This is what a green flag means. So it's great. Designed by James Hunt. I have commentated before. I was in that little box, and I've commentated at the side of the track in actual like national thing. For some Pocono Raceway. I like Pocono. For NASCAR, it's great. For IndyCar, it's too unsafe. But for NASCAR, it's great. So let me just rework some of these tiers, like I said, for you guys. These guys can go in here. Sochi can go in D tier. Jerez. Annoyingly, Jerez can go in D tier. I don't want to put it in there, but it wouldn't work for modern F1. Magello can go down there. And then we can kind of move some of these bad boys down. Bad boys. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when they bring your food? See, I've got so used to watching American TV for watching NASCAR that I remembered the fucking American adverts more than I had the British ones, which is tragic. Although there are some legendary British ones. Karen, I've got a cat with no pulse here. That'll do for that. Right, we'll do Cape Town Formula E circuit. They should have that on racingcircuits.info. Cape Town street circuit. Here we go. First of all, what the fuck is that pit lane? So that looks like if it wasn't 1.8 miles long, that looks like 1950s F1 circuit. I was fortunate enough to be a car race in Kyalami. Even took a track walk. Very good. It's a very good track. It's not good enough for people saying that it needs to come back to F1. Don't realise why Kyalami wouldn't work for modern F1. If I get a map of it up. So obviously it's 2.85 miles long. That is not a very long piece of circuit. The only overtaking spot would be into turn 1. There is no other way you'd be able to make an overtaking spot. And I've driven it. It's hard to overtake in GT cars. Never mind F1. You would not get good racing here. What was the old layouts? Oh, so they had the 90s layout here. Right, so what was the difference between the 90s layout and this one? Is it the pit lane? Because sometimes the pit lane changes. No change there. Yeah, this was the original layout. This was the layout where Tom Price had his fatal accident. I think it was here, around here. PK. You're just naming other kart circuits around Cornwall, aren't you, Jack? You cunt. PK Porth Kernel. Okay, let's have a look. Again, if you want to name me your guys' local kart tracks, go ahead. I will not. This is a beach. What the fuck? Museum of Global Communications. How about you fuck off with your global communications? Is a museum? Fuck off. I'm not looking at a museum, you cunt. Singapore predictions. Right. Singapore predictions. I think Lando's going to win. I don't want him to win, but I think he's going to. Piastri second. And Perez third. Yeah. Because I think Red Bull are going to struggle here because it's Singapore and they've struggled the last couple of years here. I don't think Max is as good at Singapore as Perez is, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it'll be Norris, Piastri. I've just got a call from a random number and I've had to decline it because I'm in the middle of a stream. Go-kart Torres Landa, okay. I'll look at this go-kart Torres Landa place. Hold on. Go-kart Torres Landa. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see if I can find a... Let's see if I can find... That looks like Daytona Milton Keynes. That looks good. I'll tell you one track that is very underrated in most racing circles because it's a NASCAR track. Is the... Oh, no, I don't want to search my fucking voice. Fuck off. Fuck off! Is the Charlotte Roval. Charlotte Roval 2024 because they've adjusted it for 2024. I know the pre-2024 layout, but they've changed it. So this is the layout that I know. So you come into turn 1. It's a really tricky third gear corner in NASCARs. Through here, that's that you lift off through here. This is like Bahrain turn 9-10, very difficult. Then this one is a nice like China turn 1, 2, 3, except it's a bit less tight. Nice bit coming on towards the banking, around the banking. This chicane, there's curbs on the inside and outside of each corner here, so you cannot cut it regardless of what you want to do. And round here, and this chicane is fucking lovely. I can show you. I can't show you, but I fly over the inside curb here. It is so fucking sexy. But they've changed it for this year to this. Let me just see if I can find a good image. To this. So this is all the same, but they turned this into a hairpin for some fucking reason. What I can do is I can actually take you on an onboard lap of the Charlotte Roval. onboard. I'm not going to do it in an F1 car because that'll just ruin it. Onboard NASCAR. I'm not going to watch a 3 hour 40-minute video. Can I just show someone an onboard lap? It seems I can't. That's annoying, but take a look at the St. Eval circuit in Wadebridge. Best track and call. I think I've been to St. Eval's before as well in a different holiday. St. Eval. I think I still have a leaflet somewhere. St. Eval kart. Oh, I remember these fucking curbs. Oh, those were... I think I remember those curbs. They were fucking bitches. Oh, I can't remember adding a crossover. You see, obviously I haven't got my webcam. I can't. The webcam is linked to my laptop. I could get you guys doing. I could get some F1 VB challenge going if you wanted me to, and I could do some hot lapping in old F1 cars. But I wouldn't be able to show you my webcam if I was to do that. If you wanted me to do that, because obviously I'm assuming you guys know what F1 VB challenge is. It's a game where you have access to every single F1 car in history and every single track in F1 history. Which produces some fun and entertaining moments. If you guys want me to do that, I could definitely do that for you. I'd have to turn off my face cam, because I wouldn't be able to show it because my laptop would be down by my side. But if you wanted me to do that, we could do some sim racing hot lapping. Because I haven't done much. The only sim racing I've done is like at the end of some of my videos. So we could do that if you wanted to. But if not, if no one says they want it in chat, I'll just carry on doing this. Sebastian Vettel probably has the weirdest career to analyse, possibly, to be honest, or one of them. Yeah, Graham Hill is a similar one where a really good champion just falls off all of a sudden. Although Graham Hill was just because of age. Yeah, quite a few. There's only a handful of champions who really fell off as hard as Seb. So we won't do any F1 VB challenge then, which is a shame because I think it's a great game. What else can we do? I would play F1 Manager on stream, but my laptop hasn't got enough specifications to really actually play it without lagging all over the place. So yeah, is there anything else you guys want me to do? Quizzes? Look at any of your other local go-karting circuits? Because if not, well, what time is it now? It's 3:30. You've had 2.5 hours of me. So unless anyone can think of anything, I might turn the stream off unless people can think of something that they want me to do. Because the thing is, he was pretty damn good in 15 and 17. He was good in 15 and 17. He just, whenever he got a chance to do anything good, he just didn't do it. He just failed in every possible way. I'm just currently scrolling through social media. Yeah, is there any other questions you guys want me to ask for you, or answer for you? If you've got any burning, like, what is your opinion on X driver, Or what is your opinion on X track? I don't mind. Look at the Asda karting track. Really? Asda karting track? I'm guessing this is a joke. Asda karting track. Yeah. Yeah, it's not actually. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, that's not an Asda. Right, what else can I do? I could, we could actually, I could show you some of my onboards from my NASCAR League Racing. Let me just go on Game of DVR and see if I can find my, onboards from my NASCAR racing. Fuck off. That's my gamer tag. If you want to harass me, I don't really care. What was my last clip I made? Oh, was it around the Roval? Oh, I can show you the Roval. I can show you guys the Roval because I've made a clip around here. Hold on. Let me just go all the way to the start here. And so this is coming on. I'll skip towards the actual start of the lap. Here we go. Here's the start of a lap. So Fangio or Schumacher? Fangio. Higher win percentage, and was just in general a better driver in my opinion. So this is a very difficult track, Charlotte Roval. Ignore the little freezing. But that's what I was talking about. Bahrain turn 9-10. Very difficult to get right. All over the grass. You have to be in NASCAR. Nearly kiss the inside wall. Keep as tight as you can for the second part of the right-hander. Try not to get to the outside wall. Just about miss it. And now on towards the banking. I was checking my tyre wear, I assume. Temperature was going up because of over revving the engine. And I found out that you can actually brake a lot later than I did here. You kind of bounce-ish over the curbs. I didn't get a snap oversteer. I usually get a snap oversteer here. And I'm not sure if you'll see it on this lap, but I do fly over the curbs quite often here. Or often at this chicane. It's one of the best chicanes you'll ever take in motorsports. Coming off the banking. Into a chicane. Yeet! And then over the curb in towards the finish line. That was a good lap. There are times where I've had it where it's previously gone wrong. In terms of chicane antics. Is it on this lap? It might be. No, it's not. I'll show you how that chicane can go very wrong if you're not careful. I hammered the throttle to make sure I crossed the line in time, but that's how it can go wrong if you just catch it at the wrong angle. Let me have a look at some of my other clips from my NASCAR League Racing stuff. Oh, is this an actual? This is an actual racing clip. This was driving at. It might have been. Was this Daytona? It might have been Talladega, maybe. So I was. This was an interesting one. We made custom liveries for Dale Earnhardt. Several people did the same things. But oh yeah, so basically what happened was some twat. Can you see? So obviously we've got Cobra. Cobra is the nicest guy in the world. He's on my inside. This cunt called Outsider is on our rear ends, and then he peeks to the inside of Cobra. And then at Cobra, you can see he's. Well, hold on, let me just take this back. You can see Cobra's as pretty much as far to the inside as you can be. The rule is in NASCAR, you cannot go below the double yellow line. You can't go below the double yellow line to overtake someone. So Cobra, you can see at the end of this clip, cuts to the inside to block the inside. He blocks it, and you can just about see here that the black car, and it's the black car. Let me just I'll slow it down a little bit for you here so you can see. The black car decides he's going to go to the inside of him. And so you can see him right here, goes to the inside, even though he's covered it off. I know he's left a bit of a gap, but he's gone to the inside, blocked him. This is like 6 laps to go, so there's still a bit of time to go. He turns in on him, not realising he's there, and then it spits him across the circuit into the path of me, and I have no way to avoid him. Because you cannot slow down or divert your attention in these cars. So he spits back up into me, and I have nowhere to go because I'm pinned down on the throttle. I hit him, he goes into the side of outsider, Cobra goes straight back into me and sends me straight into the barriers. This was an actual league race, by the way, not just an open lobby. Do I manage to save it though? I do. I managed to save it and stop it from spinning around millions of times. So after all that, I managed to save it though. But yeah, someone says H. Burton fan. Yeah, I'm a Harrison Burton fan. Harrison Burton and Christopher Bell are my favourite drivers. What's this clip? Is this me? Oh, is this in the race? This might have been another one in the race. Should review my F1 clips on Gamer DVR. I might, if you want me to expose your gamer tag. Oh, this is where I block the inside. I'm like, just push me. Oh, and then I get a lag spike, and it just sends me into the barriers. I forgot about that because I get lag spikes on the bigger circuits because I'm in the UK and all my friends are in America. What's this one? Oh, so I'm leading this one. Oh, is this me winning my my first super speedway race? I was winning and I kept the lead. How do you feel about him not having a seat next year? I'm not really happy, but he got a win at Daytona, which is more than a lot of the drivers on the grid can say. So yeah, I managed to. Oh yeah, I cover him off right at the end to win the race. Great game, NASCAR Heat 5. If you don't really like NASCAR, you have no real reason to get into it. Download Heat 5. It's a fantastic game. What is it? Is this just me in the lobby? Oh, is this my fastest lap or something like that? No one cares about fastest laps. This might be my fast lap at Sonoma County. I love driving the road courses in the truck series. Ignore the track limits. This is legal in NASCAR. So, coming in towards here, turn 1 is flat out. You brake halfway up turn 2. Just get to the left side, yeet it to the outside through this bit. You properly have to wrestle these cars around the road courses. Into turn 3 and 4. Nicely done. All over the grass, just for good measure. Accelerate in second gear. This corner coming up is one of the weirdest corners on the entire game because... Oh, shit, let me just go back into it. Hold on. Because whichever prick designed the game made it so that this entire corner, even though it's not off-camber in real life, they made it off-camber. So the optimal line is to hit the inside here. Because if you don't, look at how the corner dips. You just get sent out to the outside here. Who do you think will win at Bristol tomorrow? I don't know. Denny is a good option because he's on the playoff cut line and he does need a win, realistically. Any of the good short track races, though, are a good option, or a good shout. Denny, this is where my knowledge of NASCAR really doesn't come into my forefront here. Truex even could win. And now coming in towards the sharp right-handers. I love this section. I got basically in NASCAR there's a concept called wheel hop, because although they travel up to like 180 miles an hour, these things only have 4 gears. So you know how in real life, obviously, if you downshift too early while you're braking, the back end of the car will spin out and you'll just spin. I nearly got this at this corner. You'll see. So I come into here, I downshift a second too early, I think it was, or first too early. And you can see I just get, but the over rotation actually helps me. And then on the exit here, that's completely legal. NASCAR track limits aren't a thing. And then I think I might go off track here as well. No, I just about keep it on. Oh, that's a proper swing into the corner. Jesus Christ. Use the pit lane entry because it's a bit faster. I can never get the braking for that right. Yeah. And that was a 1 minute 33, I think it was. A 33.1. That was a decent lap. Oh yeah, I mega ballsed up the turn 1 because I tried to brake a bit later and it didn't work. There's a lot of laps of me. There's a lot of clips of me hot lapping around Sonoma. What is this? What track is this at? Oh, this is at Pocono. Oh god, I remember this race. This race was chaotic as fuck. There's Guido. He's Argentinian. He's a really good road course racer. I took him behind him. This is me reacting to a clip that I haven't watched in a long time. Oh, he's lagging. That's what it was. Oh yeah, this is where I get fucking used up by this cunt on the inside. And the guy, I think he tried to blame me for coming down on him when he's the one who fucking launched up into me. Oh yeah, just barged me out of the way, mate. Just about kept it out of the wall. Oh, and then I got fucking taken out right at the end, yeah. Hold on, where's the clip of me at... Yeah, Gateway. I got blamed for this by the guy who... by the guy it happened to. This is right at the end of the race. You can see lap 77 of 80... We're going to a restart. I decided to... So we're going back to a restart because we're all doing this. So I think we're about to choose. So basically you choose whether you go to the inside or the outside for non-NASCAR fans. I'm pushing Milk along because he doesn't fucking want to go. I go to the inside because I like the inside more here. Yeah, you can see Blue Angel's about as consistent as my shits after I've had an Indian on a Friday night. We're all bumping each other, ready for this restart. We're free to go. And then we come towards the I think this is a restart. I think we go this time around. Yep. So I just push Blue Angel along. You can do that in NASCAR. You can just push the guy in front of you. It's often beneficial for you to do so. I get caught up in a free wide moment. Nearly get taken out by Cade. But I managed to get to third place here off the exit of this corner. Blue Angel... No, what happened... Look, basically, what happens is... Look at Blue Angel here. He sees I'm on the inside. He sees I'm getting a monster run. That block is fine. Him blocking here is fine. Because he comes in front of me. Then I go to the inside again to try and get around him. And he blocks me again. Then I go to the inside again and try and get around him. And he just stays there. And I get loose and go straight into him. And he blames me for it. He had to go me for that. When I didn't do anything wrong. And then for some reason I decided to just go on the outside there. Try and get the monster run on K, but I think I kissed the wall here. I do. And then I think that's pretty much the end of it for me. I think I get a third in that race, which isn't horrendous. Don't get me wrong, third is not bad in that league, but it's still not great. I have won in that league, but I don't think I have a clip of me winning, which is unfortunate. I have laps of me lapping around Canadian Tire, but I hate Canadian Tire. It's a shit track for me. Find a game. I'll find my other account and see if I've got any other clips on that. Nedzo Racing. That's the account I officially race on, but there are some games where I have certain accounts for certain things. Oh, SRX. This is my shit. SRX is a fantastic game, by the way. Oh, is this me winning at Miami? Oh no, it's not me winning at Miami. It's just what is this? Oh yeah, basically, I'm really long into this run, and my car is not set up for a long run. Watch how loose this thing is. I'm running the Highline at Homestead. I hit the wall, and he just doesn't. Oh no, actually, no, what happened? No, was this it, or did I spin someone? I may have spun someone by accident. Yep, I did. I came down too early on that guy and just spun him by accident. That's me. Yeah. You could have probably got me done for that, but I don't think you did. SRX, what's this? Is this me setting fast laps around? Where is this? Is this I-19? I think it is. Oh, that was a bit of a clout. Oh yeah, that was 11.601. That was interesting. Was this actually a fast lap? Because obviously the laps are very quick around these circuits. 10.8. You can see I get smoother and smoother as we get across the run here. .640. That was a really good lap for me. I don't think I have any clips of me actually racing in SRX, which is annoying. Racing against other people, that is. But that's a really good game to play. Oh, is there a clip of me racing in SRX here? Yeah, this is on a restart. You can see I'm ghosted on my screen. But he said I wasn't ghosted on his screen, so that's what happened there, I think. I send an aggressive move up his inside. He gets loose. Oh, yep. That might have been slightly my fault. I tried going up the inside of Zay to not get hit up the inside by Cade, but Cade knew what I was doing, so he just barged me. What else have I got on here? Oh, do you want to see? Have I got my GTA circuits? I do have my GTA circuits. I think I might have made one here. Hold on, let me just... Here we go. My circuits tend to either be very fast or very slow, and there's no in between. Also very bumpy. Oh shit! No one pay attention to that. My GTA Monaco circuit is class. I think I do have a clip of that somewhere. I'd have to go into my other account. Because I have about 4 different accounts that I use for actual racing and stuff. This account I use for the different account I use for GTA. Ignore that. No one saw that. Oh, this is where I started to run out of parts, because you can only have 200 barriers on a circuit. So when you make a longer circuit, you have to genuinely just like ration which barriers you use and where you don't use them. I've made tons of circuits on my Russell account. We could genuinely go on for hours about the circuits I've made. I've made about 200 of them. That is one of my better ones, to be fair, that circuit. Do I hit the barrier on the inside here? Yeah, that's a very easy barrier to just clip on the inside. It's like Jeddah Turn 22. Let me go on my OR Russell account, which is another account I use. Oh yeah, I've got loads of clips of me packing people on FIFA. If I can scroll, can I filter by game by any chance? I can. Perfect. Let me fucking filter, you fat piece of shit. Oh well. It won't let me filter. Fucking hell. Load more clips. No. Grand Theft Auto. The last one I made was... Oh, it was July. Huh? Oh, fuck. Why is it not letting me look at my own clips? I could go on Xbox. I could log into my own... Oh, I'd need to... Unless I'm already logged into my account, I can't go on it because I don't want to be logging into my account on live on stream. Oh. Is it going to automatically log in for me? No, I'm not going to trust that. Right, so I can't do that for you guys. That's annoying. Unless I was to, I don't know, just put like a different screen on for you guys to look at or something. Or just, yeah, I'll hide my screen capture so you guys can't see it for now. And then I'll quickly go in and sign into my Xbox account. Let me just sign in. He keeps trying to sign me into his fucking account that I don't use anymore. It's so shit. Guess we're missing the person that was arrested, lol. What are you talking about? Sign in with a different account. Here we go. Not that one. We're going to go into my OR Russell account, which is that email and that. Oh, does it not have my password? I think I know my password. It's not that password. Let me just quickly Google it. Oh, Diddy. Oh, yeah, Diddy. Questionable character. Let me just go in my passwords. Hold on. So I can show you guys all of my... I'm surprised that people haven't just turned off seeing me do some fucking stupid shit like this. Right. Live... Oh, it's that password. It's funny, I use about 8,000 passwords for different accounts, and I think I know which one it is, and it never is. Stay signed in. Yes. So I'll just check that you can't see anything, and then I'll unblack my screen. Let me go on to Xbox. Oh, it still fucking does it. That's annoying me now. Can I just log out? I don't want this account. It has this automatic fucking sign in thing, and it doesn't realise that I do not want to let me just quickly do all this, and then I'll be back on Xbox. Sorry guys, this is probably going to turn some of you off, but it's already been 2.5 hours anyway. There we go. Right. I think that should be me signed in, so I can now can I look at my captures, please? Community, is it under there? I'll turn on my thing in a minute once I've found the captures. Hold on. I'm going to quickly Google how to see Xbox game clips on PC. Gameclips.io is apparently a better website than one I've got at the moment. Gameclips.io. Let's see what that is like. Let me see if that does have them. Games. Literally comes up with every single game it could possibly be. Yeah, no, hold on. I will turn back on my screen once I've got it all sorted out, guys. Is it gonna work? Okay, it's not going to work on that website, so I might have to. Oh, I can't show you all my clips, guys, which is annoying. But yeah, unless you guys have any other things that you want to ask me, I think I may close down the stream. There we go. I've just enabled this back on, or have that. Screen capture needs to be on there. There we go. Have you guys got anything more that you want to ask me? I'll wait until see if anyone's got anything more to say. If not, then I guess we'll close that for today, and you'll see me next week for another video. I'll just wait for another 10 seconds or so. If anyone's put any more messages they want to put in, but otherwise, I believe that should be it. I do think that no one's going to put anything in just yet. So, without further ado, I've been Nedzo, and I'll see you all later. Bye!